upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Port Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Phil Carr with Shangri-La Resort. Some things get better with time. For 70 years, Shangri-La Resort has been the backdrop for your favorite memories. On July 3rd, we're going to celebrate all these years on Lake Ouachita. Whether you're here for the world-class fishing, the delicious cafe, or just a quiet morning on the water, join us as we celebrate 7 decades of excellence. Visit us at ShangriLaResortAR.net or call 870-867-2011. Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Madida, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
If you work the land, Wheeler Power Sports and Kawasaki want to work for you. The Kawasaki Agriculture Sales Program is delivering exclusive farmer incentives on Kawasaki off-road vehicles. Save $250 on a brute force. Save $500 on Kawasaki mules. And $750 on Kawasaki Ridges. This program runs through March 31st, and it can be combined with any other Kawasaki promotion. All you need is a registered farm ID, ag tag, exemption, or co-op membership. Wheeler Power Sports in historic downtown Fort Smith. Keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a little sunshine through the clouds at times. Otherwise, we'll see a chance of some showers, especially early. A few isolated thunderstorms in the mix. A high will be right around the mid-80s. Tonight, partly cloudy. Just a slight chance of showers or storms across the south. Overnight lows will drop down low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3.
PRX Paris Fort Smith.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with
Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
From the bottom of my tongue, you got my head. What my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at halftime.
Not even one Razorback. Vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
All right. How cool is this? Here, halftime today, new lineup. We're going to have fun. Christian Johnston, the unit, running the board as always. C45.
Good morning.
Be here with man. He's pulling a double day is what they like to call him. So, man, guys, how's it going? How was your weekend, unit? What'd you get into this weekend?
Man,
You watch any sports?
I enjoyed the weather for the
Yeah.
most part. Colton, I'm sure y'all did too.
Yeah, I
With
enjoyed the weather.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I got to enjoy the weather. Obviously, it was great all weekend. Had to do some in and out stuff with a little guy. He has an ear infection and some stuff like that. So that's no fun. But there's a lot of stuff happening this weekend. PGA Championship, obviously. Razorback baseball and softball was gunning. They were absolutely hitting on all cylinders, both on offense and defense on for softball and for baseball. Matt, you mentioned some really good episodes of Saturday Night Live this weekend as well with Will Ferrell.
That dude, I don't know if y'all saw that. It was a season finale, but
Mhm.
it was his 6th time to host. They had his doppelganger, Chad Smith, of the Chili Peppers up
That was
there.
good.
You had Sir Paul McCartney. There was some funny skits. I don't know if you guys, how much y'all get into Saturday Night Live, and to the listeners, if y'all are digging it, 877-377-6963. But I there was like two skits that you're like, that was funny. But
Yeah.
then there's a couple of them you're like, y'all need to throw that away.
They've got a new lineup now, and they've got some of the featured players are the people that aren't in the main cast, I guess you'd say, like I guess sort of the backup. Some of those featured players in this lineup are actually a lot more talented, I think, than some of the people they have up front as they're, more mainstays on the cast. But yeah, anytime you have Will Ferrell up there as the host, they're going to be some absolute heavy hitters came on. They brought in some people from the past. And then, like you mentioned, Paul McCartney's he's pushing 90 years old. He's 80-something years old, and he still sounds great, still does all the music. It's really fantastic. It was a good finale for Saturday Night Live, for sure.
I thought that might be the last time that they have Sir Paul McCartney there. But I'm with you. I celebrate his entire catalog, and that was that was super cool. And then the Final Four for the basketball playoffs are set. I don't know how much you guys love the NBA, but I dig the NBA, especially the playoffs. To see
Pistons
the way
got beat in Game 7. Yeah.
They kind of got trounced. I wasn't really expecting that, to be honest with you. They've been really competitive. They had one of the best records in the East all season long. But, man, James Harden and the Cavs and everybody, they kind of took it to them right there in the final game. I was not really expecting that. I figured the Cavs would come out. But once they got to a Game 7, I really felt like at home Detroit would be able to pull it out. But they just didn't have enough, it looked like, down there at the end. And Kenny Atkinson's a really smart coach in Cleveland, and he's been in the game for a long time. So get the ball in the hands of your best players. And when you have a guy like Jarrett Allen, too, down there locking down the paint and able to secure all those rebounds, Cavs could really give my my New York Knicks probably maybe a 6-7 game series a real test.
This is one of the better chance James Harden has had to win a ring in his career. He had a good couple years there in Houston, but the elusive ring for James Harden is still up for grabs.
Yeah, and that was why going into that series, the NBA is different. Who's the best player in that series? Donovan Mitchell. So that's why I took the Cavs. Here's the guy that when I'm watching this, I'm kind of comparing people to the 4 Razorbacks that are going to the NBA. You're trying to look. There was a guy for the Hawks that reminded me of Malik Thomas, but that guy was 6'8". But check this out, Evan Mobley. If y'all watched him play, 6'11", 215. If I'm Trevin Brazile, I'm watching how that guy plays. Do you guys think Trevin Brazile could be Evan Mobley at the next level?
One thing I saw Evan Mobley do a lot this series, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm a Cavalier basketball
2 blocks,
expert.
3 blocks,
yeah, lots of
8 rebounds.
But he brought the ball up the floor a handful of times for them as well. Yeah. So that ball handling ability that he has as well, I think TB would have to be able to get to that level to feel comfortable handling the ball in that scenario in those ways in which Evan Mobley was. But you see a guy that's really transformed his game once he got to the league. He had to develop more of an outside shot, get a little thicker down low as well. And I think TB has the ability to do that. You talk about just regular, tangible skills that he has. I mean, these guys got a 40-inch vertical wingspan, all the way that stretches the Amazon. I mean, he's got a real high, ceiling to actually be a successful NBA player. I think the one knock that people have had on TB for a long time, Matt, is that he's not quite as tough down low as you'd like to see from a guy that size. But I don't think Evan Mobley really fits in that category as a true banger in that scenario as well. So I think that's a really good comp, honestly, is Evan Mobley. And if he can do that, he'll have a really good career because Evan Mobley's gotten paid by Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean he's a defensive stopper there, and the whole thing is we're trying to project. We're looking at these 18 to 22-year-old kids, and we're trying to say what are they going to do the next 10 years. And then some of it's in between the ears, some of it's the heart. It's do they want to get better? or are they just 6'11" and they're going to make $10 million a year because they are?
I think a lot of it's between the ears with Brazil. You can't really afford in the NBA to have like a 20-point night and then maybe a 5-point night.
You got
to be
consistency is what you're
consistent.
talking about.
You've got to be more reliable. And if he's going to do it, it's going to happen in the NBA because they're going to get the best out of you.
And now I'll be honest, I watched zero baseball. You guys, did y'all? What happened on the baseball diamond?
Man, let me tell you, it was an exciting weekend. So Hunter Dietz and company, obviously, they couldn't quite get it done on Friday night, which was a real shock to Thursday night, which is a real shock to the system for Razorback baseball fans that have been watching this team throughout the duration of SEC play. You've had a guy in Hunter Dietz that's been a true horse up there, and he was able to give you a good stat line. But this lineup that's sort of come around here recently as the temperatures turned up, they weren't really able to give you very much on Thursday. Then you turn around Friday night, you got one of the best outings you've had from Gabe Gackle in quite a long time. And we've talked countless times on all these shows about how there's zero pitching depth for this team at times. Gackle showed you that he's able to go out there and give you 5 1/3, 84 pitches, only a couple of earned runs, 7 strikeouts, a really, really good outing from him. McIlvain goes the longest he's gone all season in relief, 3 innings, only giving up 1 hit, no runs. He's been that shutdown closer that you've really become accustomed to here for Arkansas baseball. And then, man, Saturday afternoon got drunk for a little bit. Big C, I don't know if you saw that game, but I mean,
saw a little bit of that where we were up 10-0 in the first inning. I saw a little bit of that, and I thought it was over.
It's the first time in the DVH era that the Razorbacks have faced a team that had to use 3 or more pitchers, and that's 1,460 games that DVH has coached, and that's the first time that a team, before they even got an out, they had put 3 pitchers out there, and you're up 10-0. I won't lie to you, everybody. This may make me a bad broadcaster. When I saw that, I'm over at my parents' house. We're hanging out with all my nieces and nephews and my little guy. And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. When I saw 10 runs go across in the first inning, my eyes got a little bit heavy. I tuned out for a couple innings of the game. Sure enough, the moment I opened my eyes,
I think some of the Arkansas players tuned out.
I bet they had to have. And once I opened my eyes around the 5th inning, the first thing I see is Kentucky hit a grand slam to bring the lead, to cut the lead to 1 run. And then after that, obviously, the lineup's done what they've done all season long. They were able to go out there and scratch a few more runs across. You ended up winning 16-12. Big weekend for Zach Stewart. Had a home run in every single game and had his best series in the SEC so far. So the lineup looks like they're coming around. Obviously, now that we're into the SEC tournament, Matt, there's just some questions about, what does the tournament mean for this team? What can it do for their potential chance to host? I think that may have gone out of the window already, but you never want to go into these tournament settings and say, we're good and play the patsy. But sometimes that's kind of how the attitude turns into, especially amongst the fans, is like, let's not put all of our eggs in one basket here to win a meaningless conference tournament. Let's see if we can, put all of our eggs in one basket, keep everybody safe and healthy and ready to go for a chance to go to Omaha. Matt, I know that as like a competitor and a true athlete, the thought of playing the patsy in any of these games to you is a completely foreign concept.
What I wonder too, Colton, to your point, and you hear people talk about that, and whenever I never played baseball at this level, so I don't understand it. But it went with playing football, then playing basketball, and going to the SEC tournament. So I made the SEC championship in football once, the SEC tournament twice, in basketball 0-3. So the teams I was on, but the whole concept was, I've never been able to tell an athlete, or I had a coach tell you, hey, let's turn it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Now what you can do is you can change the rotation, you can change the minutes played, you can change a way, but as a coach, I don't think they tell the players that, hey, go out there. We're just going to go out there and have fun and go through the motions. No,
I'm impressed that they won a series without getting a quality start from Dietz.
Yeah,
and we say that, but he only gave up 4 runs or something like that. He didn't give up much, but like you said, the bats weren't great that series or that game. But I mean, that's a sweep right there if you get the normal outing from Dietz, and the offense picks you up a little bit better. But
and you talk about going for the sweep. That's one thing they have not done a lot so far this season. If I remember, the only sweep they have in conference play is on the road at Alabama. So there were a couple times in which this season where you won the first 2 games and you were trying to scratch the third one out. I could think of South Carolina, who you might be playing in the SEC tournament, as well as that Missouri series that you went on to play Missouri during the same time as the football spring game. You really thought you were going to be able to walk away with both of those series with a complete sweep. But like you said, Christian, that's what you have to do. You have to win 3 games when it gets to a regional format. So I don't want to look ahead. I know, like you said, Matt, the players and the staff up there, up there at Baum Walker, they're not going to be overlooking their opponents in the SEC tournament. But there is a little bit to be said about maybe resting up and switching the rotation around. Like you said, they could pitch off on Wednesday with Johnny Holstaff or TBA, whoever it may be, and if they have a chance to win against the winner of South Carolina and Tennessee is who you'll face. One team in which you got their head coach fired halfway through the series this year, and then another team in which you haven't played this past season, but you do love to hate a little bit. So if they make it past that first game, pitching everybody, then you might feel good that they might end up pitching Dietz on Friday or afterwards. So who knows what they'll do, but it was a good weekend as a Razorback fan watching the Diamond Sports, because softball also, they cruised past all of their opponents in their regional, and now they're heading to their, I believe it's their 5th. It's their 5th one they've had in several years now, out of the last 6, I believe, with Courtney Deifel and company. So if you're a fan of Diamond Sports up there on the hill for the Razorbacks, you had a very good weekend watching television.
I'm kind of glad they're not going to play Arizona, because I think they've knocked Arkansas out a couple times during this Deifel kind of run here, but I think, Duke obviously is a good team. It's going to be a tough test. I mean, it's always tough when you get in the super regionals. Both teams are really good. You have the home field advantage, but it doesn't guarantee anything.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of.
What it is a chance for other players that haven't got to play a lot to step up, and then you'll get your number called a little bit sooner in the super regional. You'll get your number called a little bit sooner in Omaha. Well, we're going to have a fun show today, guys. And also, Aaron Rye, am I saying his last name
Rye,
right?
Yeah, I had to Google it.
Aaron Rye, 290-1. He's the biggest long shot in the last 20 years to win a major. So that was pretty cool. Maybe we have some guys on the team that can step up and be a long shot. And we have Dr. Charlie coming in the noon hour, and then it's just us guys. It's the listeners and us, and we're gonna have a fun show today. So if you want to get in with us, please do 877-377-6963, and we'll be back after this.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's 2nd home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
I think most everybody in the stadium knew that he was going to get a fastball, including Pompey, and he did what you do with it. He deposited it.
The payoff pitch is hit high in the air by Pompey. Deep into center field. Back is Teal to the wall. Pompey will cause a...
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good Feet, good life.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Little MGMT right there. Weekend wars. Yeah, the Razorbacks had some weekend wars this past weekend, as they do every weekend when it comes down to baseball and softball season. Now they're on the road to the SEC tournament. Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there for the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage for the tournament is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. You can shop their pre-Memorial Day sale going on right now, and remember, it's better at Butler's. We're also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV. They have 7 locations all across the natural state and have been selling fun since 1971. Remember, summer fun starts today at Bradford Marine and ATV. Another sponsor of our SEC tournament coverage is Walk On Sports Bistro. They've got you covered with over 60 TVs in every single location, scratch-made Louisiana favorites, and a full lineup of craft beers and cocktails. Everything you need for a big game atmosphere. Walk On Sports Bistro for the win. Those are your sponsors for the SEC tournament here coming up in just a little bit. Arkansas is going to take on the winner of Tennessee and South Carolina, as we mentioned in the previous segment there. Arkansas had some history with South Carolina this past year. You you got 2 out of 3 series.
Fired their coach.
That's right, fired their coach. You got 2 out of 3 games in that series. Paul Maneri was not so glamorously let go right in the middle of that series. They put the whooping on him. I think it was 22-6 or something like that in that first game, and then a couple hours before the second game of that series got underway, South Carolina administration let everybody know that, hey, Old man's he's not coming back this time around. So you have a little bit of history with South Carolina. You don't have any with Tennessee this past year, but obviously going back, everybody remembers some of the wars, the weekend wars that Arkansas had with Tennessee. Tony Vitello and company. Obviously now he's sporting a little bit different shade of orange and some more black over there in the Bay Area for the San Francisco Giants. But Tennessee is still a team that you love to hate. They still do all those things that kind of is a little bit uncouth when it comes to what we think of as traditional baseball antics, and there's a lot of antics happening in the dugout over there and in Knoxville. But you'll get the winner of South Carolina and Tennessee in that first game starting on Wednesday. And Big C, it should be a pretty good one for the Razorbacks to start off with.
Yeah, you've got the Tennessee Volunteers, a team that, like you said, Arkansas hasn't played. It's always kind of cool to play a team that you haven't played all season. I know we hadn't played Texas either, but I mean, there's no guarantee we're going to play the Vols.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we've already beat the Gamecocks. I just think this team needs to go and play free and good baseball. Don't think about, I don't think this team really can afford to be anything other than present in the moment. Try to win every game and just take it small steps, every inning by inning, pitch by pitch.
Journey of 1,000 miles. It always starts with the single step. And, one of the things that we had, some of the discourse early on, before baseball season actually started, was about the fact that this was what we thought would be a much easier schedule. There wasn't quite the same brand names that we always saw on the schedule. Your schedule was void of LSU. It was void of Texas. There was no Tennessee. You kind of felt like, where are all the heavy hitters? Why are any of them coming in here to Baum Walker to play us for a weekend series? You thought maybe the SEC did you a real solid. Thought you maybe had a chance to run the table a little bit and had a much easier go of things than you have in the past with some of the really tough conference slates that you've had, because obviously this league is just so deep when it comes to baseball talent, and they'll probably end up putting close to double digits, in the regionals this year, in the super regionals this year, if I had to, guess about that. But one thing that's kind of come to light here is that their schedule actually ended up being tougher than anybody gave them credit for. So Big C, you talk about how you need to kind of continue to stay on the hook and stay motivated up there. I know that DBH talked a little bit about that at one of his press conferences after the end of the Kentucky series, about staying on the hook and staying motivated. And Matt, you talked about the same thing. Going into the tournament, it'd be really easy to just kind of look forward and look ahead, but DBH is keeping the guys hooked up.
The next few days to stay hooked up mentally. We got a lot more baseball to play, and don't check out just because the season's over, regular season's over. We still have a lot of work to do, and I hope this weekend motivated them. And no, it's that time of year, man. They don't have to go to school. You just get to play baseball. They get a per diem every day, and hey, they're eating good, sleeping in a nice hotel. What more could you want right now when you're 18 to 23 years old?
Can't ask for much more. Especially with you get your little NIL check coming in. Then you get the per diem too. Man, these kids are living large, and they're doing what they've wanted to do since baseball season started this year, which is to be done with class, not have to turn in any more assignments, don't have to do any more discussion boards on Blackboard or anything like that. All you have to do is play ball. Show up at the yard, play a little ball. These guys are really looking forward to that. Matt, whenever the season's sort of over, the regular season's done, and now you're into postseason play, the mindset has to shift quite a bit for an athlete. Like, you are now at the point, you're at the precipice of everything you've worked towards all season long. You're in a tournament setting. You're in an elimination setting to where you lose a couple more games, and all of a sudden you're looking around with what to do with your hands because there's no longer a glove there. The season's over. Your mindset shifts quite a bit.
Well, it's what the technique, it's what you've learned is that's when that comes to fruition. Because what happens when you get into games like this, when you get to the end of the season, you get to tournament play, you get to playoff play, your attention to detail matters. The room for error is so small. You can't go out there and make a lot of mistakes. But you don't want to press either. You don't want to be thinking about it. So you got to trust your preparation, trust your technique, trust your talent, have confidence. Go out there and play with fun and joy and play for your brothers. And then, Pops being a coach, he always said one thing that it's do the little things and the big things that take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about the ninth inning. Don't worry about getting to Omaha. Don't worry. Just worry about that next at bat. Worry about that next play. Do the best you can each step of the way. And then that's how little things blossom into a big thing.
little things like that. I'm a big fan of little things too. Obviously, my dad being a coach too, always preached that. That same mantra.
A lot of coaches have the same mantra.
Yeah,
like
they do.
That, right?
They just recycle everything they've heard from other coaches, and it tends to be pretty effective. But for this baseball team as well as this softball team, lots of things in front of them that they can do. I know for that softball team, they won every single game by run rule, finished it early every single game they had against Southern Florida, Fordham, and I think that's only two teams they played. They didn't even get to see Washington. Washington was the second seed in that regional, and they came out pretty flat, and USF took pretty good care of them. But Arkansas now for the softball team and for the baseball team heading now firmly into postseason play. And if you're excited about Diamond Sports for the Razorbacks, there are two teams that are extremely, extremely fun to watch. I'm looking forward to this baseball tournament for the SEC as well, just to kind of see how things shake out. Is Georgia going to make it through unscathed? I know they have those double byes, obviously. And what's going to happen with how many teams end up maybe potentially finding themselves in a spot to host a regional? You'd still like to think that potentially Arkansas has that opportunity. You look at all the things with the PIs, the KPI, the RPI, everything like that. Arkansas is still kind of firmly outside of where they'd feel comfortably about being a potential host. But if you do a couple things right here, you win a couple games, you scratch off maybe a nice little run right here in Hoover, you could find yourself potentially, and I say potentially with lots of impetus on the potentially, you could find yourself potentially, once again, having some more of these games, postseason games at Baum-Walker Stadium, which would be great, I know, for our fans as well. And
how much do they take into account the gate? Because
it's a good question.
I wonder when they go into deciding who gets a super regional or a regional, I wonder how much they know, hey, if we have one at Arkansas, you're going to have 10,000 fans at every single game.
Yeah.
I wonder if that matters.
And also, it looks great on TV. It's a much better ballpark than they're going to have for the majority of Division I baseball. I mean, it's modeled after a minor league ballpark, like you said, Matt. They fill that place up. Even on regular, weekday series against UCA sometimes, that ballpark is almost busting at the seams. So I do think that has a little bit to do with it. I do think at the end of the day, the integrity of what the committee does when they seed people is they're going to look at what you've actually done on the baseball field. Yeah, on the field before they look at anything else. But if everything kind of evens out, they might lend, they might lend a hand to the Razorbacks and let them know that, hey, because of where you are, because of what you do, you might end up getting to host.
Over under, guys. I got a question for both of you. Over under. The Arkansas Razorbacks will play more than 5.5 games for the rest of the year. There's more than 5 games left for this Arkansas Razorback baseball team. Under, over, or would you push it at 5?
I'm going to take the over on that one. I think that they can scratch off a couple of wins here in Hoover, and I think if they get in a regional, as long as they're not matched up with, a complete wagon, somebody that has a really deep pitching staff that may be able to take advantage of you, I think that Arkansas can make it out of the SEC tournament with a couple of wins, and then also, as well as out of a regional and into a super against potentially somebody that's been at the top of the standings all year long. So I'm going to take the over on that one.
Yeah, me too. I think this Arkansas team can get to a super regional. And it kind of depends on matchups after that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, whether it's at Baum or anywhere else, I think this team's gritty.
You think it's better if they go on the road, Unit?
I don't think it's necessarily
because they had the
better.
7-8 record at home this year. Do you think this is a little?
It may give them a little more juice.
Yeah.
As far as we're on the road, we're the underdogs. No one believes in us. That type of mentality, and you may have that a little bit at home. But when you're at home, it feels like you're expected to win. Kind of feels like maybe you let off the gas, not off the gas, but just the pressure you don't really feel it until maybe you're down a couple runs in the 7th inning or something like that. So I think this team will be on the road, but I would prefer, obviously, and so would they, probably to be at home.
And, at times this season, I feel like myself, a lot of other fans, media members, we've kind of dogged on this team a lot because they haven't quite had the same depth that we think that we are accustomed to here at Arkansas. And I mean, Tommy said it before on our show, on the morning show, this is obviously a very spoiled fan base when it comes to baseball. But the 2026 Razorbacks, they finished the regular season with 7 SEC series wins, which is tied for the second most in the entire DBH era. The only other 2 was in 2021, obviously, when you had, I think you won every single series that year. And then in 1999 when you won 8. So this is a team that historically is right up there with some of the best in terms of conference play and winning series. There obviously was a couple of ugly losses that you wouldn't have wanted to see. Getting swept at home versus Florida was really tough. I think you went to Auburn and had a really good chance to end up coming on top. Yeah. Lost 2 to Stetson in that 4-week wraparound series there at the beginning, and that's when everyone really started to scratch their heads a whole lot. But at the end of the day, now that things are said and done for the regular season, season you finished, I think, 36-19 or something along those lines. You're really close to that 40 win mark, which I know is the standard of excellence in college baseball. So overall, this Razorback baseball team, they've ended up sort of coming around, especially the lineup, man. Zach Stewart had a weekend of all weekends. I know that Damian Ruiz also had a great weekend as well, and you're still getting a lot of production from guys like Christian Turner and Carter Rutenbar as well. So you have to feel really good and confident about the youth of this team and what they'll be doing for the next several years, because after this, you're going to have to replace quite a bit of production at the end of this season.
You have 2 first-round picks in Cam and Hunter Dietz. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Who's the third best?
Cam is probably going to be borderline somewhere middle rounds, honestly.
Top 40 picks, but those are your 2 best players.
Ryder Helfrich as well.
Right, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Ryder Helfrich and the pitcher. So you have 2 first-round picks. Who else can step up
Maybe
in postseason play that you think Ruiz can step up?
I think Ruiz has, like, I know he's kind of battling an injury, but I think he's got a lot of
Cam is Clay's
upside.
favorite player. That's why it's
That's right. And Cam Kojal, obviously, the newly engaged Camden Kojal as well. He had, man, I don't know if you saw on Saturday, he had a little bit, I guess it was Friday, he had a little bit of a scary kind of incident. Him and a Kentucky player that was a Kentucky base runner had a collision. They had to bring the stretcher out for the Kentucky player, so you obviously never want to see that. But Camden Kojal just showed that Nebraska toughness. His next time up, his next half inning, he steps up to the bat and puts one about 420 past the wall. So that's always good to see that as well. But
Clay's thoughts on that?
Yeah, guys like him, guys like Damian Ruiz will be good in terms of the lineup. And then really one thing we've been kind of knocking on this baseball team all year is outside of Dietz, your pitching staff has been a little bit lackluster at times. So somebody like a Cole Gibbler, somebody like a Tate McGuire, Gabe Gackel had one of his best outings in a long time. Someone like that stepping up too would also be really good for this Razorback baseball team.
I always say NILs helped point guards out in basketball, quarterbacks out, well, tweeners kind of in basketball, quarterbacks out in football, and then the ladies out in the off field, because there are more guys in college that are married now than ever. Like, so when I played, there might have been 2 guys on the team that were married, and now all you hear about is dudes getting married and being engaged in college, and you're like, what? And I get it, that's what happens, but you don't think that NIL money doesn't help when you're fishing a little bit for the ladies?
Help you buy a ring, that's for sure. You get some of that real stuff, none of that cubic zirconia or whatever, the stuff I had to settle for.
You
Sorry,
be like
Gabby.
Chad Ochocinco and just always buy cubics.
Always buy. That's right. Always buy cubics when you stop by to get your extra large orange juice and your hash browns. That's the go-to breakfast of champions for Chad Ochocinco. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by the Crabtree RV Center. They sponsor our studios here on Halftime. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas has been serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 years and counting, giving each buyer and their family the best RV purchasing experience. From choosing the right RV to personalized financing to top-of-the-line parts and service department, choose from one of the largest selections available in Arkansas and know that you are working with the top-of-the-line sales and service teams. So summer is here, and it's not too late to let Crabtree RV get you started on your next adventure with an RV from Crabtree. Right at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma. You can see it right there as you get off the interstate either direction. Crabtree RV Center, making your dreams come true at CrabtreeRV.com. We'll come back with halftime. Just a little bit more here, talking about some basketball and maybe some halftime speeches here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas. Back right after this.
Brace yourself. May Mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It's time to get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo. And Jelco Outdoors, the official provider of Old Fort Days rodeo merchandise, is ready to get you there in style. Caps, t-shirts, and other items for men, women, and children. Save on Ariat and Wrangler jeans with our buy two pair, get one free deal. Cowboy hats by Ariat and Justin. Select Western boots, buy one, get one free. Get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo at Jelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every day, Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsas, queso dip, and guacamole with crispy warm chips to start your meal. Plus fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and more that will make your experience one you won't forget. Great Tex-Mex and even better service. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, your Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley. Xerox is more than just a brand, it's your ultimate business partner. Whether you need high-speed printers, powerful copiers, or seamless cloud solutions, Xerox has the tools to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. And right now, for a limited time, we're offering a free Xerox color printer with the lease or purchase of many Xerox models. To learn more, call us at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, your partner in business success.
The Crane Team is your home for all your automotive needs. With 16 different locations across the state and America's favorite brands, the Crane Team has the perfect vehicle for you. From pickup and delivery to service after the sale, plus our famous huge Crane cash discounts. The Crane Team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Buick, GMC, Ford, Chevy, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and more. Visit us today or shop online at craneteam.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Stuck inside these four walls, sent inside forever, never seeing no one.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
mentioned old Paul McCartney earlier. He did this Saturday Night Live gig this past weekend. That was him right there. Is that one of the most recognizable intros to a song probably ever written? It's that opening guitar riff. That'll get you going just about every time you hear it. And speaking about recognizable people and recognizable things, we have one here on our Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can call us or text us as well, 877-377-6963. Brian's giving us a call all the way down the interstate from Ozark. Brian, good morning. How you doing this morning, man? What's up?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good. What's up, brother?
I got a question for you. So, I've been waiting all year for this possible game Friday, Arkansas versus Texas. Hey, I love Dave Van Horn, and I've always loved Dave Van Horn and the Hogs. I love Sloss, Nagel, and actually Texas more. But here's the thing: is Hunter Deep, if he doesn't pitch against Texas, Arkansas won't win that game. They don't stack up well versus Texas this year. So if you're Dave Van Horn, and in y'all's opinion, what do you do? Do you?
He's not thinking about Texas. He's just trying to win a game. He's just trying to win.
Right. If you don't win Wednesday, you're not playing Texas anyway. So I mean, do you think Deach is going to pitch Wednesday then?
That's a good question, Brian. I appreciate the call, and that's a good question. I know you've been looking forward to that for a long time, and when I saw how the bracket would play out, the winner of the Arkansas game and whoever comes out of Tennessee and South Carolina, the winner of that game would face Texas, and that's a pretty tall task. There's no question about it. One of the strengths of the Texas Longhorns this year has been Volantis and that pitching staff they have. They've been really good. They have a lot more depth than the Arkansas Razorback pitching staff has shown at times this year, especially in a more of a starter role, and that is a good question, and we kind of mulled over that this morning. Is, do you pitch off on Wednesday and just kind of have your full bullpen ready to go with the potential for maybe, getting a second game in the SEC tournament and, upsetting Texas a little bit, which would boost your RPI, make things look a little bit cleaner for the committee to potentially find you a spot to host? Brian's got a good question. I mean, because I think that's probably going through the minds of lots of Razorback fans is, do you go ahead and just give Dietz the pause? And I think that they don't want to mess with some of the schedule that these guys are on where they have a certain amount of rest in between. I know that obviously a Wednesday start would be a little bit different, but I mean, Matt, athletes are creatures of habit. Whenever you kind of break them out of their routine a little bit, sometimes that adjustment period can be a little bit different. But if you don't pitch Dietz on Wednesday, he gets his typical amount of rest and will be able to go again for you on Friday if that's what DVH decides to do. I'm not sure that's what I would do, but I can see how that would, potentially be smart for Razorbacks. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. That's right.
I'm 100% not pitching my ace in the first game.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. Like, when you're looking at this and the way and what we were talking about earlier about how you approach this tournament, you give somebody else an opportunity if they're ready. Now, if they're not ready, you got to go with your guy. But I'm like, hey, let's give somebody an opportunity to go out there and prove. If the end goal is still to make it to Omaha, you got to get that next guy. You got to get somebody to get a little confidence. And what better way to do it than a team you should beat? So yeah, no, I'm pitching off, and then with that matchup against Texas, I'm throwing my ace, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Ryan in Prairie Grove here, texting in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Said, I bet they save him for Friday to keep normal refs. And before that, the text went away because he double texted. Appreciate that, Ryan. He did say, we don't give a crap about this tournament, which I think that's the mindset for a lot of fans as well. As if you're firmly in the tournament already, you're likely going to go on the road. There's not too much reason to potentially ruin your ace, get them on shorter amount of rest, and have to recuperate in that way. So it'll be interesting to see what DVH and company do. But we've got a little bit more time to talk about that, obviously, as we go throughout the show today and as we lead up to the SEC tournament here coming up in just a minute. Matt, I did want to talk to you about this. Spring football, and not Razorback football, but spring professional, if you can call it that, spring professional football. Have you watched any of the UFL at all? Like, as it started, they typically play at some weird times. It's got weird names for teams. There's not too many brand names that are around. Have you seen any of this?
If I see a player, like if I see it on TV and I'll turn it on, and if I see a player that I recognize, so just for instance, I don't know if this is real or not, but Johnny Manziel's going to get in the UFC ring, which that's absolutely ridiculous, right? I don't think he understands what's going to happen.
Pavia?
He's not going to live.
That would be good,
to my point is, with the UFL, if I see a guy and it's like, oh, I remember him, he played at Miami, or oh, he played at UCLA, or or if you see an Arkansas guy or a quarterback that you like, you're like, oh, you kind of check in, you kind of tune in and watch it for a second. But other than that, I really couldn't tell you too much about it.
Yeah, and so one of the players one of the people whose names you might recognize is AJ McCarron, who's the coach of the Birmingham Stallions.
He's a coach.
He's coaching up this Birmingham Stallions team that looks like they're in pretty good position to do all the things that they want to do in the UFL. But they had a comeback win the other day. I believe it was against the Columbus Aviators in the UFL. But one of the media members, I guess, covering the Birmingham Stallions, they asked AJ McCarron, the coach of the Stallions, about what he said, what was the halftime speech, and AJ McCarron basically said the halftime speeches, they don't really work and they're kind of just nothing. He said it doesn't matter if you're Nick Saban or you're Vince Lombardi, most players don't really listen to that anyway. You've been in the locker room for a lot of really great comebacks that happened after halftime. You've been in the locker room being down at halftime. Just take us into the locker room a little bit, Matt. It was what AJ McCarron's saying. Is that accurate?
Maybe I'd have to listen to it. Maybe what he's saying is out of context, because the halftime adjustments and speeches, whatever. And here's the thing. You're not making big adjustments.
Yeah.
It's we're gonna combo this block getting up from our 3 technique to the linebacker. Oh, when we're on our pass set, be wary of 4 week. Like, that's the stuff that you're just kind of highlighting some things that maybe, because the other team's gonna win some plays too. And so you say, hey, this is what they're gonna do. This is what we can do to combat that. No, there's been a couple times, Colton, that we were playing and we'd come in at halftime and Coach Markinson would come up to the offensive line and go, do you remember when we did this the week in camp? We're going to combo block it just like because the whole week we trained to do it a different way, and then they give you a different look. So, yeah, but as far as the rah-rah, I agree with them.
Yeah.
There's the rah-rah doesn't, but as far as the technical deal and attention to detail and having a game plan, yeah, man, coaches are coaching, man. They're always coming up with something.
You're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, like you said. You're not going to change from complete rushing
it's
attack
still
all the way to
98% going to be what you practiced all week.
But that's kind of what I wanted to know is does the rah stuff really affect you? And I mean, you would know because you had the biggest rah guy of all time. I still put those speeches on whenever I need to pump some iron or occasionally do something.
He'll
get you going.
What are you talking about?
He'll get you going, and we're going to stay going right here on halftime as we break in just a moment. I want to talk to you about the Booyah Mobster from Pradco. The Booyah Bait Company is made in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and the hottest swimming jib on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob locally right here in Arkansas and Oklahoma and is winning tournaments on Lake Dardanelle and Kerr Lake like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged or matted grass, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, it's the Booyah Mobster by Pradco. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on halftime. Myself, Matt Jones, and the C Unit, Big C, Christian Johnson. Right back here in just a minute to wrap up hour number 1 of halftime on ESPN Arkansas.
Yeah, they put together a really big inning, and it didn't defeat us, so to speak. We hung in there and fought back.
This is halftime.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith in the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence, up to $11,000 off, or take 2.9% financing for up to 72 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC EV Sierra for as low as $600 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Smalls here. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds can turn into sinus infections that last weeks, ruining your perfect vacation getaway. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy, it's stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy at home. It includes prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home, or on the road, you have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, and no pharmacy lines. Also, no copays. Match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor. Start meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs a medical emergency kit, so order yours online in minutes. It's shipped right to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
What a drag it is getting old. Kids are different today. I hear every mother say, mother needs something today to calm her down. And though she's not really ill, there's a little yellow pill. She goes running for the shelter of her mother's little helper, and it helps her on her way, gets her through her busy day.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Woo, man, moving right along here at halftime at this beautiful Monday, May 18th. 11:53, wrapping up hour number one. If you want to get in with us, please do 877-377-6963. The unit on the board, 45 with us as well today. Hey guys, wanted to get your thoughts wrapping up this first hour. It'd be about as quick as what Ronda Rousey did in the ring right there. 17 seconds, I believe. Did any of you guys check that out? Went to the they went to her move, the arm bar, and then it was over like that.
I was able to watch the entire fight in a single Instagram reel. That's about how long it lasted. You saw beforehand. I know that they saw beforehand. Rousey was practicing that exact same attack, like come out,
was that
do
real?
one jab, and then go. It looked real to me.
Was that the same girl that she was fighting against?
I don't know if that was an old clip or not, but it looked like that was that. She had a plan of attack, and she went out there and executed it in 17 seconds. And I mean, the girl she was fighting. The woman she was fighting, a lot of her fighting technique and her experience has been on screen for the last several years. And so I didn't think it was going to be a fair fight to start. But, man, Ronda Rousey is just not a woman I want to get in the tussle with. Her coming down a dark alley with me, I'm going down a different direction.
No, I'm
absolutely.
I'm on her side.
Yeah.
Where does she rank, guys? Because I follow UFC 1%. It's not like I know a lot of Horace Gracie, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, Chuck Liddell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I know some of the But Holly Holm, I was watching a little bit when Ronda got rocked by Holly Holm. It was never the same.
Yeah.
Is Ronda on her way back, or was that just a money grab?
I wonder because there's an age that comes into effect when you talk about fighters.
Sports is a young man's game.
Sports is a
young lady's
or
game,
a young woman's game at this point, and when you, especially in a combat sport, when you've taken so many blows to the head and other parts of your body, like extremely important organs, after a while there is a sort of longevity factor that has to come into play. But in terms of female fighters, even though she's been out of the game for a long time, there's not that many names on the list that are more that carry more star power than I would say that Ronda Rousey does. So whether or not she was in it for just a quick bag, or she's actually trying to claw her way back up the ranks of fighters in the UFC. I thought it was a really good, entertaining match to say the least. But yeah, 17 seconds. Anybody that paid for pay-per-view for that shot their wad a little early. Yeah.
Ooh, Ronda Rousey. Yeah, she still moves the needle a little bit. Just wondering what you guys thought about that one. And I heard Conor McGregor's coming back. Does that make y'all stand up a little bit, or kind of? Because he is kind of polarizing. He gets out there,
notorious,
throws chairs at buses going by. He's got a mouth on him.
Has he fought Jake Paul yet?
That's one. If they haven't, that one needs to be the next main card up there in Vegas somewhere. That one definitely needs to be. I do know I don't know about Conor McGregor. I know he's coming back, like you said, at some point. But he's another one of those names where even if you're out of the game for a long time, he's such a good self promoter and a self marketer that he's going to draw a crowd with no matter who he's facing off against in that card. So that should be a fun one too. I wonder if he'll. I don't think he's going to fight Nate Diaz again. That's for sure. He'd get pieced up one more time.
We're going to go to a commercial break here in a second, but Jackie and CrossFit, we're going to get you at the top of the hour if you'll hang on. We got to pay some bills, and we'll come back right after this.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Caymas bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Busy season is here, and C2 Supply is ready to keep you stocked and moving. Whether you're tackling big jobs or everyday work, they've got the supplies to keep you running smoothly. From hard-to-find items to everyday essentials, their team is here to help you get what you need fast. Stop by C2 Supply, 602 North Broadway in Poto, or give them a call at 918-647-0430. C2 Supply, keeping your jobs moving all season long, and let them see to your supply needs.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work, and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a little sunshine through the clouds at times. Otherwise, we'll see a chance of some showers, especially early. A few isolated thunderstorms in the mix. The high will be right around the mid-80s. Tonight, partly cloudy. Just a slight chance of showers or storms across the south. Overnight lows will drop down low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin things dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, Matt, take it to the
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
From the bottom of my throat, my head. What my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at halftime.
They even one Razorback. Vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
All right, hour one in the books. May 18th.
Flew by.
Just moving on. Yeah, let's do it. We're like an Aaron Rye drive right now. Just flying right on by. Having a good time today. The unit on the boards, 45 with us as well. And like we said, we appreciate the phone call. If you want to get in with us, 877-377-6963. Let's go ahead and go to the phones, and we'll continue right on along. Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, this is probably a crazy question, but I didn't get to hear the first of the show today, and I didn't get to hear much last week because I was turkey hunting.
You get anything? Did you bag a bird?
No, I did not have much luck at all. But my question is, this might be crazy. Who is Colton Little? And are you going to be the permanent fill-in for Phil? And also, do you have a broadcasting connection or something with the Razorbacks? Kind of what's your resume, I didn't get to hear
Jackie,
you have been gone for a week.
Jackie, you've been gone for a little while.
I
appreciate the call, Jackie.
Read your resume on the air.
Jackie, first of all, that clip of who is Colton Little is going to live forever,
We're
and I very much appreciate
as
that.
an in-play.
That'll be we'll have that back. Jackie, I'm here filling in for the time being. I guess we can address the elephant in the room. I was going to wait until the end of the show today. But I guess we can address the elephant in the room. Obviously, things sound a little bit different on halftime today. The voice of the Razorbacks, Phil Elson, is no longer with us on our program, but we'll still hear him from time to time, obviously, as we do these rejoins and everything, as we highlight the great things that the baseball team is doing. He's still the voice of the Razorbacks. Jackie, I've been asked to fill in. I've been doing the producing on the Morning Rush for 2 years now, and I've been hosting some of our post-game shows with Matt and Big C and Ty and the whole crew for a while now. So not quite the same level of Phil. He's a real Malcolm Gladwell outlier with 10,000 hours of experience and radio professional. I've just been doing my job to fill in here and do the best I can. But we're going to get through it, weather the storm. It's not like Matt forgot how to do a great needle drop. It's not like Big C's here to keep us in and out like he always does. It should sound almost the exact same. But Jackie, you did miss quite a bit because Phil made that announcement last week, and there was an announcement that I was going to be filling in for the time being. But I don't think it's going to be a permanent solution. Those decisions actually get to be made by people who get paid a lot more and are a lot smarter than the three of us in this room. But thank you for the call, Jackie. I do greatly appreciate that.
He didn't mince words, did he? He just came straight out and said,
"That's so good." Who is Colton Little? I mean, I'm literally that's going to be my ringtone for everybody. I love that. Thank you, Jackie, for the phone call, though. We appreciate it.
Colton Little is the fifth Beatle, and we all know that.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're going to have a good time. Change happens, and you move on. And that's exactly what's going on. And just look at the NBA playoffs. Change has happened. You had 28 teams the last time the Cleveland Cavs made it to an Eastern Conference Finals. That was LeBron James last year there. And now Donovan McNichol has them back to take on, I think, and it's in a weird way, is America's team. I mean, Oklahoma City's in the middle, but they're the best team. They got the reigning 2-time MVP. But it seems like everybody's kind of pulling for the Knicks. Are you guys kind of pulling for the Knicks a little bit?
Woo. I've been a Knicks fan for a long time, ever since started playing competitive 2K tournaments with my buddies down the street when I was just in grade
Back when
school.
J.R. Smith played for
J.R. Smith, Amon Shumpert, Carmelo Anthony, Tyson
Amon
Chandler, Jason
Shumpert,
Kidd was an
yeah.
absolute squad. They were the only ones on that 2K game that could compete with the Miami Heat at that time. So I always, all my friends obviously used to pick, so I'd like to take them as well. But man, the Knicks, when it comes down to it, I feel like they'll be able to edge out the Cavs in a 7-game series. I think it will go and end up being 7 games because you never know when James Harden might have a 40-point night, or Spida Mitchell may have a 40-point night, or Jared Allen ends up getting
Is
like
he the
8 stocks
best
in a
player?
game.
That's okay. So here's the question I got for you, because that's why I picked the Cavs over the Pistons, because I thought the Cavs had the best player in the series, and that's a lot of how NBA is. We just saw it. If you're a Razorback fan, you just saw what having Darius Acuff does. You're in every single game. Best player for the Knicks. Okay, so I love Jalen Brunson. I'm a big time.
Bucket getter.
I think he should be on the Olympic team in 28. I like him. Donovan Mitchell is the best player in this series. Is Karl Anthony Towns? Who is the best player in this series?
I feel like when it comes down to it, Donovan Mitchell
Like
is
if you
probably.
had a draft, who you taking first?
I would take Spida Mitchell before I would take Jalen Brunson. Brunson would be second because of the fact that he's a true bucket getter. He's not afraid of anybody. But the fact is, it's kind of the same conversation that we have at times with what's Darius Acuff's ceiling's going to be in the league. You look at a guy with a smaller stature right there. He's going to get picked on defense from time to time, and whether or not he actually plays defense at an All NBA level or not, you still are going to get picked on when you're 3 or 4 inches shorter than the other point guard that you're going up against in Spida Mitchell, who's going to do the majority of ball handling, I'd say, for Cleveland, as well as, Dennis Schrader as well. But I do think that because they have the best player, the Cavs are going to be able to push the Knicks to a 7-game series. But overall, the Knicks have gotten a lot deeper than they have been in some of their more previous playoff runs. They've got a lot of guys that come off the bench.
More rest,
more depth, but are able to give them a little bit more. And I feel like the Cavs can be kind of top-heavy at times with their rotation and some of the guys that they have. So hopefully as the games go on throughout the rest of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, I feel like the Knicks will be able to sort of edge them out when it comes down to those later moments in the third quarter when you may be resting your starters. I feel like the Knicks have a lot deeper bench. So it should be a pretty fun matchup no matter what. But I think Jesse in Springdale texted in earlier. He wanted to know, does it really matter who comes out of the East, because it feels like the West is going to win no matter what. And that's kind of in the same book that I am. Whether it be the Spurs or the Thunder, I don't think anybody can match up with Wemby one-on-one over a 7-game series. And then with the Thunder, and you talk about depth, that is just depth personified. They're bringing guys off the bench that you have to kind of look up and figure out who they are. Then all of a sudden you blink their eyes and they've got 15-5-3. And obviously homegrown boys here, but the 2 Fort Smith guys, Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe, lots of our listeners will be rooting for the Thunder to take a back-to-back championship. How could you not? Yeah.
If there is a kryptonite for the Thunder, it is the Spurs. The Spurs, I think, I don't even think they lost to the Thunder in the regular season, which a lot different in the regular season and postseason, but at least shows,
Hey, De'Aaron Fox, who's a Coach Cal guy, that he's stepping up. Stephen Castle, I love that dude. And then what about the Spurs got it right? Their first pick last year in the draft, their rookie, that dude Dylan Harper, he's getting mad. He's mad tick, getting a lot of game time, and he's producing for a rookie.
And it's kind of funny that Rutgers had 2 first-round draft picks last year, and they
couldn't
even make the tournament. But yeah, it just goes to show how basketball has changed in a long time. But man, the Spurs and the Thunder series, I hope that one goes 7 games too. I personally would love to see the Thunder kind of eke out the Spurs in that way. But man, there's just, Wemby's an alien. So whatever the Thunder have to do to be able to contain him for that many games, it's going to be a really tall order. And I'd like to say that the Thunder have a really smart coach in Daigneault who's going to be able to kind of, be able to IQ his way out of a lot of those things. But it's really hard to compete with a guy that's 7'5" and does all the things that Wemby does, man.
We had Gavin in Fayetteville. You're reading my mind. OG1 Kenobi. If he is healthy, I'm with you. I know he was hurt in the last series, and they still got through. But yes, his defensive factor. If Knicks aren't all the way healthy, I give the Cavs a chance. But if OG can play, I'm with you there, Gavin, in Fayetteville. And then Chris in Springdale coming up to have Colton's back as
What
well.
a name,
That was
OG.
that was good.
OG Anunoby.
Hey, let's go to the phones unit before we got Dr. Charlie Liggett and 3 Up, 3 Down coming up here in a little bit. But let's go to the phones.
Tuna, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing good, Charlie.
Well, Matt, you know I'm jumping right in when we talking basketball now. All right, look here. I think you guys are talking about the depth when you think of these four teams. I think you're right, Colton. I think the Knicks, especially if OG is right, or at least able to play, I don't know, however many minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, I think that might push the Knicks forward. You know, as far as who has the best player, I agree. I think probably Spida Mitchell is the best player on the floor in that series. But, you know, what you're seeing the last few years is the team with the most depth seems to it's starting to turn into that. I used to would say, you know, if you had the best player or the best two players, but depth is when you have depth like OKC has, which you just talked about, Colton. I mean, guys that aren't even playing in some series, and then they come in and, like you said, 13-5-3 out of nowhere. I mean, that's incredible. You just don't see that, and I think that's just the difference. I think at the end of the day for the Thunder, not the Thunder, the Spurs, they do have Wemby, but I mean, look, the Thunder are going to do what they're going to do. I mean, one thing about the Thunder, they defend too. They get in you. They make it tough. They'll get under Wemby a little bit. You know, one thing that I've noticed about him, you know, the Thunder with their size, I would imagine they probably put Hartenstein on him, I guess, for a lot of stretches. But, you know, the one thing about the Thunder, man, they'll trap you. They're going to make him, which he's a good playmaker, but they're going to make the Spurs make shots. I mean, it's just going to come down to that. And if they can make some shots, they'll stay in that series. But I got Thunder in 6. I know the regular season happened, and I would say the Knicks.
Beat yet. Thunder 8-0 in these playoffs.
I mean, the reason I'm giving the Spurs a couple of games is because they do have a little bit more depth than some other teams, and they do have talent like Wemby, and you know they're young too. They got young legs. So that seems to be another thing where the league is heading. It's becoming a young man's game, and so and I give the Cavs, I give them a chance, but man, I just think the Knicks, the way they defend, you know, you talked about it, Colton, their depth. I got them in that series too, probably even 6. And you know, Harden, it is what it is with him. He's more of a playmaker now anyway, so, you know, he tends to come up short in these big moments sometimes. And he has his whole career. I don't know what that ever has been with him. It's got to be mental. But, yeah, I'm going Knicks in 6, and I guess I'll go Thunder in 6. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Charlie. Appreciate the call. Appreciate you sticking with us here at your normal time slot as well. It's also great. The Knicks, the Thunder, man, the Spurs. It's going to be a good conference. It's going to be a good conference finals on both sides of the bracket, no matter how you look at it. And we'll be looking forward to it on halftime. No doubt.
Well, I'll make my predictions here in the third hour. We'll all do that.
Yeah.
We got to get a golf tally that we just had. Hey, let's take this one last phone call, and then we got to hit a break.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan, what's up, dude?
How's it going?
What's up, boss?
Life's good.
So, just wanted to switch it up a little bit from the NBA back to college baseball. I know y'all were talking about, you know, pitching Dietz and, you know, resting him and keeping him on his schedule. Well, I think we should switch it up and let Gackle start and give him a throw and keep Dietz later if we need him. I just don't see
I'm
what.
with you. I would pitch anybody other than Dietz
Yeah.
in the first game.
I mean, and we've got studs. We've got studs, boys. So, like I said, save your number one prospect, because you know how we've done it, you know, in the past years. It's happened. We've thrown our best man, and y'all seen what happened.
You're right.
I'm
Appreciate
with
the
you.
call.
I agree with you, Ryan. Thank you very much. Hey, man, we're going to continue right on. We got Dr. Charlie Liggett coming up in our favorite segment in 3 Up, 3 Down, and we'll be back right after this.
The Razorbacks are on the road to
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got 12
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away.
Welcome back to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Now let's get back to Halftime with Arkansas football legend Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Well, when you hear widespread panic being played on these airwaves, you know it's time for one thing. 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett, who joins us now on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Dr. Liggett, how you doing this afternoon, man?
Great today. How you guys doing?
Doing good. I can't complain. I tried, but Big C and Matt told me to suck it up and stop crying. So
Who is Colton?
No complaining. Who's Colton Little?
Who is Colton Little?
Man, I couldn't have. I couldn't have. Jackie, your check is in the mail because honestly, I couldn't have written anything that good if I actually tried. But Dr. Liggett, thanks for joining us as you typically do on your Monday time slot. You ready? You got your 3 Up, 3 Down? You ready to get this started?
Ready to roll. Let's go.
All right, Big C, hit that music for me.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
All right, 3 Up, 3 Down here from this past weekend, as always, like we do with Dr. Liggett from the River Valley Smile Center. Dr. Liggett, you want to lead us off today?
Sure. I'll start off with baseball, man. We picked up a big series win. And, even though you kind of think of this team as like a down team this year, we struggled or whatever, we still won 7 series.
Mm-hmm.
That's not easy to do in the SEC. So, big props up to this team. And Stewart, McIlvain, and DeCramer, I think those 3 guys this weekend are the 3 that I thought really shined. But I was really proud of the Hogs for pulling that off because, we didn't want it to. When you jump out to a 10-run lead, you don't want to give it back to them. But it's real easy to kind of let that happen and let it get away from you. But we hung on to it, and so now we've got Wednesday. We'll play the winner of Tennessee and South Carolina, and you guys were saying, do you want to start Dietz or do you want to start Gackle?
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts on that are whatever is better for Dietz with going forward.
Yeah,
So if it's better for him to throw on 1 day short rest and then pitch on the next Friday, then that's what I do. If it's better for him to wait until Friday to throw potentially and then throw, because we're playing the following Friday no matter what. So, and we got to have Dietz there for that. The SEC tournament's important and all that, yeah. But Dietz health and how he's throwing, I think, is the most important thing. So that's what I'd look into that.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, hang on. Let me hit my down real quick. Down real quick. Our defense has to play better.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. Not even necessarily errors. We just have to play better, and that's obvious. Watching the games based on historical Razorbacks teams, but we're a lot better than we've played defensively.
I'm with you on all that stuff, Charlie. Absolutely. You mentioned Gabe Gackle right there. He's my first up. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 7 Ks, only 2 earned runs to his credit against him, and 84 total pitches. One of the best outings we've seen from Gabe Gackle in a while. So, Dr. Charlie, like you mentioned right there, maybe pitching Gabe Gackle on that first game on Wednesday may not be a bad idea, especially because he got a little bit of confidence after his last time out. Obviously, yes, it was against a Kentucky team that's not quite known as being a really electric offense, but they can be a little bit pesky at times, and Gackle was able to kind of weave his way through 5 1/3 innings, like I mentioned, and one of his best outings in a while for the Razorbacks as a starter. So a lot of questions about him this season, whether he'd be better served coming out of the pen or in that starting role. And I think that this past weekend he was able to show that it doesn't really matter what happens. If you give Gabe Gackle the ball, good things typically are going to come from that. So I think that potentially him pitching on Wednesday would be a very good thing for your Arkansas Razorback baseball team, and maybe get him a little bit more confidence as you go on into that regional. Because like you said, you're going to pitch Dietz on Friday in that first game of the regional. Then after that, you'd like to not have it be TBA. You'd like to be able to give a guy a little bit of confidence like Gabe Gackle, who has been here for you for several years and has shown that he can go out there and give you a really great quality start. My first down, the softball team had a fantastic weekend, and that's obviously not my down. I'm not jealous about that in any way. I may be taken away from baseball or anything, but it's an 11 o'clock start time on Friday, 11 o'clock in the morning, which is a big down for me as well. The ESPN, they've got to get all these games in. They have television times and everything like that. But, I mean, they're playing random stuff on regular ESPN channels, linear ESPN channels during prime time, so they could be trying to squeeze in important softball games. But 11 o'clock start time on Friday for softball, that is kind of a down. We'll be here. We'll be able to give you guys updates on air during their matchup in that first game with Duke in the Fayetteville Super Regional. But at 11 o'clock start time, I'd like to be able to have my full attention devoted to that game because that softball team is really exciting to watch. And unfortunately, we'll be here doing the show, so we can't really devote our full attention to it. But 11 o'clock start time on Friday for softball is my first down, and that's just no bueno in my opinion.
We'll give some updates.
Yeah, we'll do. We will.
And so I kind of have all ups today. I'll try to figure out one to be a down, but there were so many good things that happened in sports this weekend. And I'm going to start with Aaron Rodgers is back. That's right. 24 touchdowns to 7 interceptions last year. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, they're going to go 9-7 again this year. Hey, Coach Tomlin is amazing. So let's don't forget that they had. I know you get Coach Mike McCarthy, but things change a little bit. I'm a Coach Tomlin fan, but A-Rod's back. I love it. Let's get another year for that. And then I guess it can be a down, but it's kind of an up. It goes to 17 seconds. Ronda Rousey, armbar. I mean, you got to think when you're going to go fight Ronda Rousey. Now, I'm never getting in the ring to fight anybody or Ronda Rousey. But you got to think, what are we going to go to? It's like playing against the Baltimore Ravens, and it's like, well, let's don't stop their running back. It's like, well, what is she going to do? She's going to get your armbar in a trap, and she's going to break it. Like, we have to defend for that. Happened really quick, but it was still cool. So on to the next. All right, Charlie.
Okay, I don't know if you guys saw this. I just caught into it this morning. I thought it was pretty cool. I was reading the story, and Cardinals fans can go a little bit more in depth, I'm sure. But so they had, I guess, these guys that were out in right field are called Tarps Off.
Tarps Off, baby.
Group. Yeah, so it's this. There's a bunch of Stephen F. Austin baseball players, I guess club baseball team that were out there. So they all take their shirts off, going crazy out in right field, and just getting the game going. And so the coach liked it so much, he said, "I want that to happen again." He said this on Friday. He's like, "I want it to happen again." So I want everybody out there on Saturday. So he paid, he let them all in free, and they ended up winning the game. And so he invited them all down to the clubhouse, and they all got to hang out and stuff. It's pretty cool. So that was a neat story. Hopefully they'll keep that going this year. And my second down goes to Kentucky baseball for their Little League, Bush League dances and chants and all that stuff. I know Phil hates all that too, but man, he sent me a couple videos from the game, and it's seriously like Little League dances and chants, and I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it's not good.
You're a college baseball player.
You'd never have done any of that stuff back in your day, would you, Dr. Liggett?
Not like that, man. Come on, that's terrible.
It is.
Maybe when I was 8.
Yeah, maybe in Little League.
Yeah. For me, my second down, Zach Stewart, like you mentioned earlier, Dr. Liggett, he had a hell of a weekend. 6 hits, 3 home runs on those hits as well, 1 per game, 6 RBIs. And it looks so much better when you do that, when you have that flowing golden mane of luscious locks out of the back of your batting helmet, too. He's got the best hair in college baseball. He's one of the leaders in all of college baseball in career home runs, and he had his best series as a Razorback this past weekend at Kentucky. So if you can have a power hitter like that start to sort of get hot as the temperature gets hotter, I know that the Razorback baseball team would love to see Zach Stewart and that power hitting continue and be a continuous trend for the Razorbacks as they continue on now in postseason play. So big weekend for Zach Stewart, Stu, as they call him. He was knocking the ball all the way around the ballpark from game 1 to the end of game 3. So he's my second up from this past weekend. My second down here, disease and sickness has just been running rampant through my household for weeks. I'm clean. I tested tested before I came in the studio today for all major afflictions. Didn't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. But my wife has a sinus infection. My little guy has had double ear infections and everything like that. And it's just not a fun time having to be in and out of doctor's offices and everything like that. So that's my second down. Everybody should be on the mend here soon, hopefully by the end of the week, and back to our normal selves. But this time of year when it's like, 45, 60 degrees in the morning, and then by noon it's like 90 degrees, that is tough on my allergies and everybody else's as well. So hopefully we can wade through that, and I won't have another down anymore after that.
They give an allergy shot. Instead of taking pills, you can take a shot.
That's a needle shot, right? Not
Yes.
not a shot of courage. Okay, yeah. I probably would prefer to have a shot that comes in liquid form other than a needle, but that's just me. Matt, what do you got?
All right, my second up goes to the NBA Final Four is set. You guys know I love some NBA playoffs. Not really a fan of the regular season, but we're all products of our environment. You got to get there, and then here we go. Oklahoma City versus Spurs. Oklahoma City's 8-0 in the playoffs. That's going to be that's going to be awesome. That's must tune in TV right there. And then the Knicks and the Cavs. I think everybody the Knicks are pulling at heartstrings right now. I think everybody's kind of pulling for the Knicks a little bit. I do think the Cavs have the best player in the series. So that's going to be interesting because when you get going in the NBA, I'm usually lean. It's kind of like NFL playoffs. I kind of lean toward the team with the better quarterback. In NBA playoffs, I kind of lean toward the team with the best player. I know there's other things that go into it, but that'll be fun. And then my second up or second down, it goes to all the other golfers that aren't named Aaron Rai. Like, really, 290 to 1 to win a major and just out of nowhere. I think that's pretty cool how stuff like that can happen. First Englishman to win in over 100 years to win the PGA Championship. So a lot of stuff going on. I had a lot of fun watching the PGA Championship. Some of you're saying I think the unit might have won again. He's 2-0.
No.
But did Clay win?
I don't think anybody won.
Oh, you had Scotty and
I had Scotty and Justin Rose.
Yeah, you won.
I thought
you got to beat me and Clay. That's it. So.
Oh, I thought you had to get the overall winner. Okay.
Well, he was 290 to 1. None of us
had that. So yeah, that was a fun weekend. All right, Charlie.
Okay, for my last up, my daughter graduated from Southside on Friday.
Congrats.
So, thank you very much. We it's kind of a down too, but we didn't get very good cell phone reception at the graduation, so I couldn't listen to all the game. I had my earbud in, so I got to catch a little bit of it, but I got home and got to watch the end of it and see us pull it off. But it was cool. And then Saturday she had a little party for all of her friends and had a big table with all of her Razorback stuff on it, since she's going to the university next year. So that was a lot of fun. And okay, so from a down, were these regional predictions, I still think there's a chance for us to host. I don't think it's a guarantee, but like Matt was saying earlier on the show, I mean, they want it to be at Baum. I mean, they're going to make more money. It looks good. And we're going to pack it out no matter who's playing. And, I mean, we've won 7 series. We got a lot going for us, but the RPI is the thing that kills us. But the predictions, going to Oregon, man, I don't know about that. I mean, Lincoln is a little bit closer, but in that Lincoln prediction that I saw, it had Missouri State in it. Man, I don't like that. It seems like we always end up with Missouri State. But I did see one this morning, the Southern Miss Regional in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
And what would be cool about that one is High Point would be, in this prediction, would be the first team that we played. And so that'd be pretty cool to play High Point in the first round of the postseason in baseball and basketball.
That would be cool. High Point again. I mean, like you said in basketball, they captured the hearts of America pretty quickly there, and then unfortunately, all of us Razorback fans had to stomp those hearts out pretty quick with those dramatics there at the end of the game. But yeah, that would be pretty interesting. I've seen the Hattiesburg Regional teased a lot for the Razorback baseball team, and like you said, going all the way that far out to Oregon, the West Coast, I'd miss me with that. I'd rather than be a little bit closer so that Razorback train can get rolling to Lincoln or to Lawrence, Kansas, or to Hattiesburg. like you said, Dr. Liggett. All right, to wrap it up right here for me, my Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals, like Matt said. This is one of the few times in my life where one of the teams I actively root for has a chance to come home with hardware. I typically end up picking a lot of level losers in my day. So for the Knicks to come out and have a great season and try and make it over the hump from the conference finals to the actual NBA finals, I'll be locked in for every single one of those games. And I'm really, really hoping that after all is said and done, that a championship banner is being raised once again in Madison Square Garden. My final down right here, Matt, you mentioned this earlier, Johnny Manziel. Making an appearance, but it's not even a real fighter. He's fighting. You know who he's fighting? You know who Bob Menery is? No. Bob Menery is just some random guy like us that's made a living out of doing a fake sports. He's made a living out of doing stuff with Nelk, the Nelk Boys on YouTube, and kind of being a fake play-by-play commentator for everyday life. That's how he got his big start. But these guys have had beef for a long time because of stuff that was said on those random Nelk YouTube videos and live streams and stuff like that. So this is a money grab for both of these guys who have zero fighting experience, and it's going to be on Netflix because Netflix has zero programming outside of these terrible, awful fights that they put on. So that's my down, is that potentially, Bob Menery might end up kicking Johnny Manziel's ass, and that's just not fun. You don't want to see that.
All right, my third up goes to Saturday Night Live. I guess I'm telling my age right now because I've been watching Saturday Night Live for years. Will Ferrell hosted for the 6th time. Tina Fey, Molly Shannon, Paul McCartney, Chad Smith, all sorts of people were on the show doing their thing. There was a couple skits. There was a skit. So my favorite skit was the one where they go to the auto mechanic, and the guy, he starts talking in Spanish, and the two white people couple are like, what was that? And he goes, that was Spanish. Yeah. We don't know what's good. So it was funny. Anyways, that was a good skit. Then my, I guess it'd be another up, the special one, Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, he's back at Real Madrid, right?
He's doing a retread. It happens. He did a retread at Chelsea. They kind of go back. He signed a 2-year deal there at Real Madrid to try to get them going back on. But hey, I'm all for the soccer season's almost done. The Champions League finals May 30th, and then you get the World Cup coming to the States. So all for it. All right, Charlie, what do you got going on at the dentistry?
Well, this week is just kind of a normal week. Dr. Johnson, Dr. Cabe, and Dr. Bailey all working normal schedules, and we've got some spots open for new patients. So if you're looking to get normal dentistry done, or you're not really sure, just want to have it looked at, take some X-rays, and kind of see what's going on. One of the cool things we do is we do sedation. So if you're a little bit worried about having dental work or having any of that done, or hearing the sounds or seeing the sights or whatever, just come in. We'll sedate you, go to sleep, get your dental work done, and wake up and it's all finished. You don't have to worry about it.
All right, Dr. Liggett, send us home.
All right. Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go Hogs.
All right, back to Rack at halftime right after this in this next hour.
Brace yourself. May Mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
And still Arkansans fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Harry Douglas here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
That was one of the ugliest games I've been involved in a while.
This is halftime.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong.
how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Back here on Halftime, 12:42 p.m., 18 minutes till the top of the hour here. Myself, Matt Jones, Christian Johnson here with us for just a little while longer. He's got some errands to run today, so me and Matt will take it home starting in that last hour here. Matt, we talked about the PGA Championship a little bit right there in the 3 up, 3 down. Aaron Rai, like you said, 290 to 1 odds, sort of came out of nowhere to capture, like you said, the first Englishman to win the PGA Championship in quite some time. Matt, you're a much more experienced golfer than me, likely, and 100% definitively much better. Have a lot more experience on the golf course. Do you see guys out there a lot that have double gloves and iron covers?
Well, Tommy two gloves.
Yeah.
That's one of them. The thing that I would say is you saw Kurt, I'm not going to say his name right. I think of Kurt Kitna, or John Kitna, the quarterback that played for Illinois, but he shot a 63. You had Matt Fitzpatrick shoot a 65. Justin Thomas shot it. So you knew there was a number out there. The PJ made it so tough. I mean, you think about it, the leader's at 6 under after 3 rounds, and then somebody shoots a 5-round under on the final round. It was so you knew there was a number out there to be had. And he went out there and got it, man. Good for him.
You talk about kind of the unknown that Aaron Rai is. I mean, he's had some success on the tour. I think this is his first major win ever, to be honest with you. But
yes.
The PGA Championship, it kind of brings out these guys out of the woodwork that kind of haven't made it. John Daly, obviously, yeah, he made kind of made his start right there in the PGA Championship in the early '90s. Is it because it's kind of later on in the year and these guys maybe not necessarily lose focus, but it's post Masters, it's post that next tournament, it's kind of one of the next. Kind of the in between of the Masters and the U.S. Open is that kind of why you think that we see some of these randoms kind of winning every now and then?
Here's the thing, and here's what the harder you make it, that's how you have a chance for some. So if it was easier, the players that are really good, I think they would have. They kept doing. You make it so tough, you make it so long, you make pars a premium. Yeah. I mean, you think about it. 6 under was the second place. A lot of people, half the people that made the cut finished over par. And these are professionals.
Yeah.
So you make it tough, and the thing is, all these guys are so good. I go back to, I was at the Sawgrass years ago. This is 20 years ago when it went and saw around, and I'm walking by the practice tee, and you hear guys hitting on the range, and you notice that it sounds different than any time I've ever swung a golf club. Just the pureness of sound. And the guy's name that was on the range that I heard it was like the 70th ranked golfer in the world, Stephen Ames, right? That's who this is. It's like all these guys are so good. They can get hot. The thing that Rai did that was the most important thing, and that if you can win, you can stay in the fairways, if you can hit greens. He had 7 straight 1-putts on Sunday. That's ridiculous.
Especially with the fact that the greens were so big at the championship game too. I mean, it seemed like the rest of the field was having to at least 2-putt the rest of their way to finish out their holes. But like you said, 7 consecutive 1-putts to finish off on a Sunday is typically going to get you in a really good place to win a championship or win any golf event that you find yourself in. Another thing that I saw from the PGA Championship Tour is back-to-back Masters winner Rory McIlroy. He was getting a little bit contentious with some of the fans. I don't know if you saw a little bit of that. He chirped back at some of the people in the gallery that I guess they weren't necessarily being demonstrative towards him. They weren't necessarily chirping at him. It's kind of that same thing where guy hits a shot and somebody else, insert random phrase. Yeah, enter the dragon, something random like that. And so I think that one of the things that Rory took a little bit of offense to this past weekend was somebody kept shouting USA, USA, and that could be obviously a knock at Rory, somebody who's not an American, but he turned right around to those guys and told them to STFU, which is hilarious.
Lick my boot.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what that stands for.
Yeah. I think that's funny whenever these people get out there, the patrons of all these golf courses, and obviously they're only patrons over at Augusta, but people that are at these golf tournaments, they come, they get maybe a little bit liquored up, and they think that they could just shout whatever they want at these athletes at a golf course where it's designed to be dead quiet all the time, and you're never going to get any repartee back and forth. I found that pretty amusing that Rory was able to go back and just give him the death stare and say, shut up.
There's always one, and that's the thing. It's like the one making the most noise usually is not the smartest one, and usually doesn't speak for the crowd, or usually, it's one of those that you kind of got to go with it. And a lot of times you'll see golfers, they don't even acknowledge the fact that you're breathing air. It's like the Nick Saban effect.
Yeah.
If you're gonna talk down to me, or you're gonna be weird like that, I don't even know that you're breathing air. That's kind of how my motto is. I just don't even talk to you anymore. But then some people, they're just like they've had it, and so they're just going to go right back at you.
Charles Barkley, I think, has attacked fans before, like 6 different times.
Hey, and then you keep poking the bear, you know what's going to happen. That's what happened. And Rory, honestly, I think Rory's a top 10 golfer all time, but we'll say this, he's a top 20 golfer all time. Yeah. I think we can also, Rory's amazing.
Just one of those guys that may be a little bit untouchable. Just
he's
untouchable
a made man.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. He's a made man.
Absolutely. Well, we'll keep breathing right here on Halftime. Bring it back in just a second. I want to tell you today we're brought to you by the North Arkansas Regional Medical Center, bringing better to you. It's the second largest employer in Harrison with over 700 employees and over $50 million in annual salaries provided in our community. They're serving serving 5 counties, totaling 95,000 people in north central Arkansas with 18 clinics, including 3 rural clinics. They have a 40,000 square foot med plaza that's now open to better serve their community with outpatient imaging and laboratory services, 5 NARMC clinics in addition to Cox Health Harrison Clinic for a total of 6 clinics. They also have that level 3 trauma center and a strategic partnership with UAMS Stroke Program, through which NARMC has become one of the most award-winning programs for quality of stroke care. They're the only facility within 50 miles of Harrison that is baby-friendly designated as well. And they were the 3rd in Arkansas, and now there are currently 8 hospitals that are baby-friendly designated, but NARMC and their facilities were 3rd overall. They deliver over 500 babies annually at NARMC. To learn more about North Arkansas Regional Medical Center, check out our website at www.narmc.com. Back to wrap up hour number 2 of halftime right after this.
This is halftime.
The Roar E dirt bikes are unleashed, and they're ripping up everything you thought you knew about power. Instant torque that snaps your head back, silent speed that hits before you hear it. No gas, no gears, just pure electric domination. Twist it and hold on. Trail, track, street, doesn't matter. These machines are built to shred. Ready to go full throttle without the noise? Get your hands on a Roar E dirt bike today at Wheeler Power Sports. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967 in downtown Fort Smith.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Koper's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Koper's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Koper's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Koper's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kopers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Koper's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
From sauce, dust, to nuggets. It's Taco Bell's new Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. Are they mild? If they were mild, we'd have to change the name to Little Rascal Nuggets or Minor Nuisance Nuggets. Definitely Diablo. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time and while supplies last.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at ServiceMasterPC.com.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Golden brown, texture like sun, lays me down. With my mind she runs throughout the night. No need to fight, never a frown with golden brown. Every time, just like the last, on her ship, tied to the mast. 2 distant lands, takes both my hands, never a frown with golden brown.
You're listening to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
Right, little tune from the movie Snatch, which is a Guy Ritchie movie. I was going to see In the Gray this weekend. I'm going to probably try to go see it next weekend, but another Guy Ritchie movie. Big time fan of Guy Ritchie and all his work. Back halftime here, myself and 45, just moving right along. Hey, let me tell you guys what Bath Makeover of Arkansas has going on for them. They're a local Arkansas business. They're installing American-made bathtub showers, walk-in tubs. They're amazing. Official sponsor of the Razorback Athletics. They have a tub-to-shower conversion. It's a popular choice right now. It has very easy access. The revolutionary laser tech shower walls off the look of tile without all the maintenance. Customized with grab bars, comfortable seating, shower doors, fixtures in chrome, brushed nickel, oil-rubbed bronze, and black. Yeah, man. You got to check them out. They have expert installation. It takes as little as 1 day. Lifetime product warranty. They have 3 showrooms across the state. So get out there, check them out. I was at the Harrison one not too long ago, and man, I tell you, it was pretty cool. They got one in Little Rock, Harrison, and El Dorado. So give them a call at 1-800-NEW-BATH. Check them out, man. You're going to love what you have to see. They'll take care of you, and tell them you heard about them on halftime.
Man, you got to have that bathroom ready to go because, I mean, that's your throne.
Bedroom,
That's your throne.
kitchen, bathroom are then you got to have a den. Yeah, getting the house ready. You got to have that right. Hey, we're having a good time here today. We're going to come back, wrap this show up. 1 more hour left to go in this beautiful edition of Halftime.
It's time to get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo. And Jelco Outdoors, the official provider of Old Fort Days Rodeo merchandise, is ready to get you there in style. Caps, t-shirts, and other items for men, women, and children. Save on Ariat and Wrangler jeans with our buy 2 pair, get 1 free deal. Cowboy hats by Ariat and Justin. Select Western boots, buy 1, get 1 free. Get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo at Jelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Smalls here. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds can turn into sinus infections that last weeks, ruining your perfect vacation getaway. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy, it's stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy at home. It includes prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home, or on the road, you have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, and no pharmacy lines. Also, no copays. Match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor. Start meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs a medical emergency kit, so order yours online in minutes. It's shipped right to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a little sunshine through the clouds at times. Otherwise, we'll see a chance of some showers, especially early. A few isolated thunderstorms in the mix. The high will be right around the mid-80s. Tonight, partly cloudy. Just a slight chance of showers or storms across the south. Overnight lows will drop down low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got to take it here. That's a respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What my heart, dog? Listen, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at halftime.
Number one Razorback. Vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story's over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
All righty. Man, just having a good time here on this Monday, May 18th. 101, just moving right along. 45 on the board and with me as well. The unit running some errands, as was said. And, man, we're having a good time out here. I know this last weekend was graduation, Colton.
Oh, yeah.
Went to the Poto High School graduation Friday evening. And you know what? It was relatively cool. Like it was outside, so the sun was down. Everybody kind of acting right, I guess. 90-minute total from start to finish.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
was
big time.
The question I got for you, and I want to know when this happened. And maybe it happened when I was at school and I just didn't know it. But they had 9 valedictorians.
What?
So you had the opportunity to speak. I think they had like 3 minutes. So it wasn't that long. Nobody got up there and talked for 40 minutes. But I thought there was only one valedictorian. How do you have 9 of them? How long has that been going on?
I have legitimately never heard of there being more than one valedictorian, and then the secondary one, I guess, second place, silver medal is the salutatorian. I've never heard of there being more than one valedictorian. It may come down to like how they weight their grades on their GPA at the end of the day, and they may have just had like a 9-way tie. But man, That's a lot of valedictorian. It's a lot of kids that did a good job in school, making sure they had good grades. I was class rank number 4 in my class, and obviously I went to Gentry, so that was out of 5 kids. But
Yeah, I was homeschooled and I had a crush on my teacher. Yeah.
But I think that 9 valedictorians, that might be a little bit of overkill. But if it only took 90 minutes to get the whole thing started, they do the pomp and circumstance, everybody gets everything read. That's a pretty good time. I wouldn't complain about that at all.
I
Go
think
Pirates.
there was 7 kids signed scholarships from Poto High School to go play. One girl was going to Mississippi State to play softball.
That's awesome.
Couple other people were joining the armed service. People doing things, and it is big things, but that it always makes me wonder. Every school has somebody who's going to go play college athletics somewhere, and it was pretty cool to see that. Yeah, they had a good time. It was fun.
Graduation, man. It's coming on. I'm having my 10-year class reunion coming up here next year, I guess, from high school, just kind of to show everybody how young I am. And I got a message on Facebook the other day about showing up to my 10-year reunion, when it was going to be. They're getting ahead of this thing, and it just got me going back and looking through pictures of my high school graduation and everything like that. Always a fun time. I know Dr. Liggett, when he called in, that was part of his up and his down. So it's a pretty important time of the year, and families tend to go all out for it. It's a definite. It's a harbinger of change, I guess, whenever it's time to graduate. You're done with school if you want to be, and now you're in the adult world. So congrats to all the graduates out there. It's a big thing to accomplish.
And thank you for the feedback coming in on the Lewis Automotive text line. You can text us or call us at 877-377-6963. Apparently, it's been going on for a while that you could have multiple valedictorians. I think I was around like the 78th in my class of like 400 or 500, so I wasn't even close enough
Top
to
25%
to get there. I'd say, what are you going to do? I do want to talk a little NFL with you.
Yeah.
And I saw this, and I want to get your thoughts on this. So the next place to host the Super Bowl is San Francisco. After that, it's Atlanta. That's inside. After that is Vegas.
Yeah.
And then in 2030, they're going to have a Super Bowl in Nashville. Are we I'm all for it. I think every single NFL city should be able to host a Super Bowl, but of course that's not going to happen because of the weather and apparently. But I'm like, hey, it's a gladiator sport. If the Super Bowl's in the snow, that's the snow pop. Let's go play it. So how do you feel about having the Super Bowl in Nashville?
I think Nashville's on the come up as a city. They're trying to, throw their hat in the ring to have these big events, Super Bowls, draft parties, things like that. They're throwing their hat in the ring to become one of these marquee cities here in our country that is able to host these events, and for it to be sort of synonymous with their town as, hey, every couple of years we have the Super Bowl here. Hey, every year we have, this big sporting event, this big event. Nashville's on the come up, and I know that they definitely would like to throw their hat in the ring to make sure that they are not left out of the big party for all the Super Bowls. But yeah, I saw that recently too. That was confirmed. There was some murmurs about Nashville potentially being one of the sites for the Super Bowl in the upcoming years about a month or so ago. But now that it's out, out in the open, and nobody has to keep it under wraps anymore, I think it's a good thing for the city of Nashville, obviously for the state of Tennessee. I don't think they're going to run any risk of having the home team, Tennessee Titans, play in that Super Bowl, even by 2030.
Cam Ward,
Unless Cam Ward just turns into the second coming of, pick your Hall of Fame. No,
sorry,
not Vrabel. Oh man, that's going to get really nasty. Whenever
is he going to coach the Patriots this year?
See, I'd like to think that the NFL should completely stick themselves completely out of the business of policing the bedroom. But now you've sort of crossed into the territory of, okay, now this is about your relationships with the media members and the media members' relationships with you, and how at times when that crosses the line over to improper, then there needs to be maybe a little bit of, you put your hands on the table and the teacher comes around with a ruler and maybe there needs to be a little bit of that. But at the end of the day, with Vrabel and Rossini and everything, I think that they've been sitting on a lot of this stuff for quite a long time, and that as we get closer and closer to the season, I think they're going to release even more stuff, and the Rossini and Vrabel files will just be, I mean, even juicier as they go along. But Nashville hosting the Super Bowl, that's a really big thing for them. I don't think Cam Ward and company and the Tennessee Titans will actually be playing in that Super Bowl. But if you're a fan of sports and you're a fan of things happening in Nashville, that's a really great intersection, because I know Ty's a big Nashville guy. He comes from there every now and then, talks about how much fun he has. So Nashville's
fun.
great.
Yeah.
It'll be a Super Bowl full of all the bachelorette parties that they have there in the early part of February.
And speaking of graduation and tying it in again to a little NFL talk, the New York Giants, formerly known as the Baltimore Ravens head coach, Yanni Harbaugh, was the commencement speaker, and he talked about getting fired, getting let go. And you said your pops was a coach, my pops was a coach, and here's the thing in coaching, it's not if you get fired, it's when it's going to happen. So you just got to kind of go with it. But I definitely thought that was kind of cool to be able to bring back and talk about it. And you can't really, the one thing sports teaches you is you don't sit there and wallow over anything that's going on in life. You move forward, because that's what's going to happen. Nobody's going to wait on you. You take the next step. I heard what you said in the first hour was every 10,000-mile journey starts with one step. And so when you get sports is it's such a great equalizer, but it's a great teacher of a lot of good life qualities. And then we were talking about other things that weren't so good, but Harbaugh is one of the ones that's doing it the right way. You get let go. All you did was bring a couple Super Bowl. I mean, you brought one Super Bowl to that town, and you've kind of under-delivered the last little bit, but it's tough, man. It's tough to win a Super Bowl. And you got to pick yourself back up and put one step in front of the other, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, it's not like they have 9 Super Bowl champions at the end of every year. There's just one. There's just one team that gets to host the trophy.
That's right.
Only one team gets to take the confetti bath in your team colors. Only one team gets to sing "We Are the Champions" at the end of the year and put their fingerprints all over the Lombardi Trophy. It is just one, and like you said, John Harbaugh has obviously gotten a chance to do that back in 2012 with the Ravens and then everything else that happened after that. Like you said, he did kind of under-deliver, and you can always, like you said, you can shrink into a shell of yourself. You can give up and you can quit. I mean, we saw that this past weekend for the baseball team. If you start off with one of the most historically offensively fantastic innings you've ever had here as a Razorback baseball fan, as a Razorback baseball player with 10 innings or 10 runs in the first inning, and then all of a sudden you look up in the 5th inning and the 6th inning and the game is tied, it's very easy to just lay down your arms and just say, I'm done. We had a good, we did the best we could in the first inning. It's very easy to quit. Same as the softball team. They've had that monkey on their back for several years now of can we make it to Oklahoma City? And they still have that on their back right now, but it's looking like it's almost going to be a lot easier this time around taking on Duke. And these ladies and on the softball team and the baseball team, it'd be very, very easy to quit, especially in a game that is based around failure like the bat and ball sports are in softball and baseball. But if you don't quit, if you have a little bit of stick-to-itiveness, you're going to find yourself, at least feeling better about your result at the end of the day, whether it be a win or loss. So commencement speeches right now, they tend to always take over the timeline, but I'll have to go back and listen to John Harbaugh because the Harbaugh family, they have some quirks and some mannerisms about them when they speak that I just find very, very intriguing.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a while. Another NFL news. I mean, it might be NFL heavy on this segment. Another NFL news. He's too sexy for his shirt. Yep, that's Tom Brady. Doing the catwalk there at the Gucci event in Times Square. Fine wine, I guess, man.
Yeah.
Just put him in a black leather jacket and don't make him dance too much. Look at Tom Brady go.
Yeah, I saw Tom Brady. He was talking about during one of his, I guess during the commencement speech that he recently had given as well, talking about how you're always going to have somebody that may doubt you, people that will also push you as well. And he kind of alluded to the fact that somebody that pushed him and doubted him at a time, he said it was an old ratty guy in a sweatshirt and a cutoff sweatshirt that was mean to him from time to time. So you can only fill in the blanks there.
They kept on hanging out at the local high school playground, huh?
Yeah. Well, now he's running around at all these cheer competitions and he's got face paint on and everything like that. He's definitely not getting things short up over there in Chapel Hill for the North Carolina football team. Hey, him and Bobby Petrino now, 2 old guys that just hate absolutely everything. That should be fun.
Unless you're under 25,
That's
they're
right.
a fan.
You're under 25.
If you're,
they're big fans.
Hey, I was looking at some of this too, speaking of some NFL talk here, and it was talking about the best free agents that were out there. And I saw Joey Bosa's still out there. Yeah. Stephon Diggs is out there.
I love the Diggs brothers.
Here's one of my favorites, though. See what you think of Deebo Samuel's out there. How healthy do you think he is? I think Deebo Samuel in that slot, he's kind of like a Hines Ward. He's a guy that's going to block. He's like an Anquan Bolden. So he's just tough, man. He's somebody you want on your team. Where do you see a guy like Deebo Samuel ending up?
And you mentioned Anquan Bolden right there too. That's a guy that seemed like every single game he played in, he had at least 8 receptions. That was a guy that was always stuck
and
in the
4
stat sheet.
knockdowns.
Yeah, and he was definitely pancaking all those helpless defensive backs out there too. Back when that was when the league actually had some bigger defensive backs too. The kind of a trend is now a little bit smaller.
We played against him, Colton. So I was in Jacksonville, and we went out to Arizona to play against the Cardinals, and they had these 2 receivers. Y'all might have heard of them, Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden.
Yeah.
And they had Kurt Warner.
Reggie Mathis, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Rasheed Mathis.
Yeah,
It was for all of us, though. But that getting back to it, that was one of the things. They ran this 6 route. And a 6 route is about anywhere from 14 to 18 yards, and you cut in. And so they must have hit that 4 times on 3rd downs or long. We couldn't stop them, man. It was either throw it to Fitzgerald, throw it to Bolden, run it a little bit, do whatever they want. But seeing him play, that's the only time I got to play on the same field as him. And I have so much respect for Anquan Bolden, man. That dude I think he's a little he's like a Steve Smith guy. He's a little underrated. Anquan Bolden, Hall of Famer or Hall of Very Good?
I'd say he's going to end up being in the Hall of Fame. The way that the NFL does their Hall of Fame, I feel like he has enough stats, and he has enough of a great resume to be able to make it there. But Deebo Samuel, man, he is one of those guys that, like you said, he's kind of an enigma in some ways. He can run the football out of the backfield. He's able to do a lot, like you said, blocking downfield in that Hines Ward type role. And then obviously he's such a big body, he's able to sort of muscle out those smaller defensive backs to make those possession catches. But one of the things these last several years that sort of kept him off the field and out of the limelight, his typical all-pro ability, has been some injuries. So you hope that he's able to get completely rehabbed and get back healthy somewhere. And then I think that he'd be a great addition for almost really any team, especially one that's sort of lacking an outside threat right now, really some verticality in their passing game. Like, for example, my Miami Dolphins, they released Tyreek Hill. They traded Jalen Waddle away. So now you're bringing in a new quarterback in Malik Willis, and you're trying to, get him comfortable in a new system and everything. It'd be nice to have a dependable target like a Deebo Samuel that is going to be able to not only get open but make those catches as well. But he'll be a pretty high commodity, in the free agent market, along with Joey Bosa. There's just not a lot of guys that are as athletic as those two that can really set the edge like that. So a lot of free agent signings coming out in the NFL that should be very intriguing. Like I said, both the Diggs brothers, both Stephon and Trevon Diggs, are likely to be in new teams this next fall.
Well, we're going to set the edge, and we're going to go to a commercial break, pay some bills. If you guys want to get in with us, please feel free to. You can call us or text us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. That's 877-377-6963. We'll be back after this.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
This is the Morning Rush. You've got to stand in the fire when you're the leader, and you've seen me on rare occasions when you've got to stand there and take the bullets when bad things happen. You can't go run and hide under your desk. You can't get in your car and leave. When the you-know-what's hitting the fan, you got to stand there and be in front. That's weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Just hold on, let me finish this. Walk me through that. Walk what you're about to.
Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes are so luxurious, you might wonder if a chauffeur will pick you up from the restaurant. And how could you not? With selections like the signature $5 bots, decadent $7 bots, and abundant $9 bots featuring the triple-double crunch wrap with layer upon layer of what you love. While the drink is included, a chauffeur isn't. So plan accordingly. Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lutz bots at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Drinks excludes freezers and specialty beverages. That's extra.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Rich Eisen here with some advice. If high-interest credit card debt is grinding you down, it might be time to call an Audible with a SoFi personal loan. It consolidates your debt into one low monthly payment with no fees required. And with as soon as the same day funding, you can make the right play fast. Call an Audible on your debt today at SoFi.com/debtplay. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debtplay.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Self-pocket. It's only in your head you feel that out. Look down. Try your best. Try everything you can. Don't you worry what they tell themselves. You're away. It just takes a everything will be just right. Everything will be alright, alright. Hey, no, they're all the same. No, you're doing better on your own. So don't buy in.
You're listening to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
All right, back here, about 39 minutes to go until we wrap things up right here. But don't worry, everything will be all right. All right, little Jimmy Eat World right there.
If you feel left out, it's only in your head.
It's only in your head. You'd be just fine. Every little thing will be all right. Obviously, Jimmy Eat World right there. Good stuff bringing us back here on Halftime. Real quick, before we get to the Lewis Automotive Hotline, I want to tell you about Roback Activewear. If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com, they have the brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com, and use code RUSH26 for 20% off of your first order. That's RUSH26 for 20% off on Roback, where action meets comfort. You can call us or text us here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, as we have about 30 minutes left to go here on this edition of Halftime. 877-377-6963. One of our favorites is giving us a call. Cecil, what's going on, my man? You're on Halftime.
What's up, Cole? What's up, Matt?
Yo.
How you doing, Cecil?
How much time I got today? Because I got a lot to say.
All the time in the world, Cecil, as long as you keep it clean.
Okay. Matt, you know, I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to all of y'all, but I'm definitely speaking to my natural right there.
Let's hear it.
I'm looking at y'all too. I'm looking at you. Always looking at y'all. The NBA. Okay, let's go. The Oklahoma City, San Antonio series. Matt and Colt, what's your opinion on the series?
So
how far you think it's going to go?
I think that one goes 7, and my X factor. So I think De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama are going to be fine. I think it's going to be how does Champagne play. I love Stephen Castle. I almost forget that Harrison Barnes is on there. But you look at their bigs in the Luke Cornett and Kelly Olynyk, Mason Plumlee. They got some dudes that can give you a little bit something. But my X factor, Cecil, for the Spurs might be the rookie Dylan Harper. Does he grow up and play like a 4th-year vet, or does he show up like a rookie? And then again, the Thunder are so deep and so talented. This is two teams that know exactly who they are. And SGA is the best player in the league right now. So and that's one of the ways. That's why I picked the Cavs over the Pistons, was because they had the better player in Donovan Mitchell. That's what scares me. And I think just in a way, I'm kind of pulling for the Spurs, but I obviously want the 2 Arkansas kids to win a championship. But I think it goes 7. What do you think in the West?
Well, honestly, I watch it every time they hit the one-eyed monster. I'm on it, and Harper has gotten better, Matt.
Yes, he has.
Playing, and they playing on the top tier level right now. Oklahoma City's been having some problems. Wemby has gotten way better since they beat them in the 3-4 games they played. 3 games. I'm gonna bet some money on it, so I'm betting my money on them.
Well, the Thunder haven't played anybody in the playoffs yet. I mean, really, they haven't played anybody.
They haven't. Okay, so it's like this. You got Wemby. San Antonio has Wemby. Oklahoma City has Shea. Who would you rather have in crunch time?
Shea right now.
Yeah,
Shea right now.
Okay.
But I'm a Wemby. I'm a believer in Wemby because he's 7'8". You know what I mean? Like he's an alien.
Right.
And you can't but right now, today, if you were like, hey, you had first pick and you're going to go play a pickup game, I'm taking SGA over Wemby right now today, yeah.
Okay, now I say Spurs in 6, and then the New York Cavaliers series, that's going to be a hellified series, man. And they tit for tat. New York's playing good. I really like New York. New York is my 3rd team. Oklahoma City, Lakers, and then New York. New York has got a really good team. They playing on a high level, too. That's going to be a hellified series.
Do you think Karl Anthony Towns is going to step his game up and do his thing? Because I think he's the X factor. You know how I was talking about Harper for the Spurs and that's
right.
I think I really think is Karl Anthony Towns going to do his thing and be the G that he is, then they'll be fine.
Yeah, he gonna. But see, Cleveland has Mobley and
I like Mobley.
Allen, man, they good. Mm-hmm. They good too now.
Mm-hmm.
And on Stephen A. What's the guy name? The Yankee talking guy.
Skip Bayless.
No. Anyway, he talk a lot of baseball. He got that East Coast accent. He said that. He said my boy for Cleveland was overrated, but he's really not overrated. He's been balling out of control, man. He's really good. But I'm still taking New York to win the East. This is my final opinion on the NBA playoffs. New York, San Antonio. I think San Antonio going to beat Oklahoma City in 6 games.
I'm for it, Cecil. I'm with you. I'm picking. Yeah. I'm going Knicks, and I'm going San Antonio as well. Right there with you.
Yeah, they got Oklahoma City favorite. About 6.5 today?
Mm-hmm. I think it was 7, but yeah, close to that. 6.5, 7. Yeah.
Okay, well I'm gonna take that 7.
Yeah.
Plus 7. Hey man, y'all have a blessed day, man.
Thanks, Cecil.
Thank you, Cecil. Yeah. Knicks Thunder would be a good finals for me. I mean, I'd be happy if the Knicks make it out of there. Matt, the term that I think gets thrown around a lot with the Thunder and now with the Cavs too, just from what I've seen, and obviously James Harden being a part of that roster, it's what they call unethical hoops, which is guys intentionally trying to draw a lot of fouls, borderline on flopping. What's your stance on that? Because I want to root really hard for the Thunder. They're what, an hour and a half away. They got hometown guys here for Fort Smith. Yep. Yeah, they got hometown guys here. Obviously, Razorback, Arkansas ties. I can make it to a game in the playoffs, in the finals if I wanted to, if I had enough connections and could get enough money to spend on tickets. But I mean, this is a close team to me. I feel like I'm supposed to like them for all these reasons, but I cannot get over the way that I watch the Thunder and the Cavs play from time to time. And don't get me wrong, Brunson does this a lot too, as does Karl Anthony Towns. It's kind of permeating throughout the league right now. But these guys that sort of, I don't want to say flop because I feel like that's such a negative connotation of a word.
Embellish, maybe?
Embellish is probably the better way to do it. Maybe be a little extra dramatic at times whenever they get hit, running 20 miles an hour and get barely brushed on the shoulder, and then they flop both their arms up in the air and the ball goes 9 rows into the stands, and, they're writhing in pain. It's not quite what we see, in soccer from time to time, but those guys obviously have a little bit to sell as well. But just what's your stance on how this is kind of permeated throughout the league? Is that a turn-off for you at all? Because I know you said you don't watch the regular season too much.
Well, I don't watch the regular season too much because they don't play defense. It's a marathon, not a sprint, the regular season. Now, you get to the playoffs, you really understand what's going on. And the thing about the playoffs, what they do is if you have a weakness, they're going to exploit it. And if you can't figure it out, then you're going to lose the series. So you have to be able to adapt and to adjust. Cleveland, definitely, they're going to be the more tired of the teams. I think New York will be rested. But after game 1, then everything will be all steams ahead. I like Evan Mobley. I know you're talking about Jared Allen a little bit. I like him. James Harden makes his way to the free throw line. And one of the things with James Harden is he's never been the fastest, most explosive.
No.
But he's kind of got, like, Malik Thomas has a little James Harden in him. Mm-hmm. Like, he plays below the rim. He can get his shot off. He can wiggle a little bit. If it's hand down, it's man down. And Harden is he's an A+ passer, man. Yeah. Like, that kind of goes unnoticed or unsaid, I guess. But his court vision, he wants to pass the ball and get the ball to the open guy. I wonder, Colton, if Cleveland's defense, I know they're making up for it with Mobley and Donovan. You got guys, but I wonder if they're going to be able to stop New York when it comes down to it.
Yeah, as many guys as New York has been able to run out there off the bench for them and their second unit, Josh Hart, guys like that. They
love Josh Hart.
They've been able to take over at times with that second unit in there for both teams, whoever the Knicks are.
I love Cole. I love when a guy can be a leader on the team.
Yeah.
He can play 39 minutes, have 7 points, shoot the ball 3 times, but then have 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, and just be the engine. That's what Josh Hart is. Yeah. He's the engine that. He's kind of like the guy he's the unsung hero that, we're not going to run any single plays for this guy, but he's going to be out there. He's going to be given effort. He's going to give you max effort on defense. He's going to hit open shots. He's kind of the John Starks of the New York Knicks this year.
Yeah, the John Starks of this generation, man. And I'm kind of wondering, talking about John Starks a little bit, I kind of wonder, talking about Wemby also, do you think that it's going to get to the point here really soon where there's about to be, kind of like Wemby rules, like there were Jordan rules, where you can maybe be a little bit more physical with him and it gets him off of his game? Because we saw in their last series against Minnesota.
He threw an elbow, yeah.
He threw that elbow, and it was obviously very intentional. And I mean, when you're 7'5", your elbow's not going to quite go into somebody's ribs anymore. right? It's going to go up there towards their temple. Is that something that maybe the Thunder may key on us to try and maybe get underneath Wemby a little bit?
Yes. And here's one of the things. He's on the board, and so if he throws another one, he will be suspended.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing, as much as you know that I don't think Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer. Like, I don't think in any lifetime Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer. But here's what Draymond Green
Only
was.
he was, yeah.
He was the enforcer.
Yes.
You messed with Klay Thompson. You messed with Steph Curry. He would come over there and punch you in the face. And that's a little
kick you in the
old.
groin, yeah.
Who on the Spurs does that? Because somebody has to protect Wemby. You got to have somebody that's willing to be that ride or die, that'll come out there because Wemby doesn't need to be doing something. Somebody else needs to have that nasty in them. So I wonder if the Spurs they might have to get a little. The Knicks do.
Yeah,
the
the
Knicks have 7 guys that come punch you in the mouth.
The Knicks are looking to get into a street fight, and I think that's where it goes back to the guys you mentioned earlier, the Kelly Olynyk's, the Luke Cornett's, the veterans that have bounced around team to team multiple times that kind of understand like the unwritten rules of basketball. They may be the enforcers that they're looking for. And speaking of enforcers, we have one right here with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Doc has given us a call from Omaha. Doc, you're on halftime. What's up, my man?
Enforcer.
There's Doc. What's up, Doc?
I'm not the enforcer. Hey, I'm not the enforcer. I'm not the game warden.
You can be. You can be. Oh, no, you're not the game warden. We run away from the green jeans.
No. I'm not the possum cops. But
That's
hey,
right.
quick question, guys. I don't know if I missed a segment about the SEC baseball tournament.
Yeah.
Are the seeds out? Do we got to buy? Who are we facing?
Yeah, I got you.
And then before y'all get to that real quick, am I wrong or am I right? Is the ABS system, the automatic balls and strikes, is that going to be used in the SEC tournament or has it been used in league play all year?
They haven't used it in league play all year. They did make the announcement a couple of weeks ago. They are going to bring out the ABS system for the SEC tournament, and I imagine that they'll probably try and string it along, maybe a couple other conferences as well. But just to touch on what the seeding looks like, Arkansas locked up the 7 seed, so they do get a first-round bye, Doc. They're playing that first game. It's Session 4, Game 7 at 4:30 p.m. this Wednesday. You can listen to that game right here on all of our ESPN Arkansas stations, as well as the HitThatLine.com now app powered by Taco Bell. But Doc,
what's gonna
go ahead?
What's gonna win the tournament this year? Then the Georgia Bats or Hog pitching?
It's a good question. Now, before you can make it to the championship game, though, Doc, you are going to have to best whoever wins from Tennessee and South Carolina. And then if you move forward in that game, you get matched up with the 3 seed, who is Texas. And they're going to have lots of rest and lots of really good pitching, too. So that's how the tournament looks right now for the Razorbacks. You start at 4:30 on Wednesday. You get the winner of
anybody going to Hoover for a remote?
Not quite sure yet. I think because some of we've had some changes and some turnover here and a little bit of turmoil at ESPN Arkansas in a way. I don't know if we're sending anybody, but we are going to have some wonderful sponsors who will bring every single pitch of the tournament right here to you on ESPN
guys.
Arkansas.
Y'all have a good one, and we'll keep listening, guys.
All right,
keep
thanks,
up
Doc.
the good work.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you. We'll break it right there and come back in just a little bit here to do a little bit more on halftime. I want to tell you a little bit about Sterling Bank. When it comes to baking, you deserve a pleasant and productive experience, one that puts you first. That's exactly what you'll find at Sterling Bank, your community bank right here in Northwest Arkansas. With top-notch customer service, every transaction feels personal because they're not just your bankers, they're your friends and your neighbors. Sterling Bank is deeply committed to the people, businesses, and organizations that make NWA thrive. Their passion for growth and progress fuels everything they do. If you're looking for a local, friendly banking that fits your needs, visit Sterling Bank in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville, or learn more at stirbank.bank. That's stirbank.bank. Sterling Bank invested in you and committed to NWA. We'll come back right here, wrap up with a little bit more baseball and softball, then we'll finish out the show right here on halftime. Stay tuned.
Brace yourself. May Mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstar battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I ride to give word the war is over. Send my cinders home to mother. They gave me a medal for my valor. Then trumpets spit the soot of power. They say on your side when nobody is. Nobody is. Sit right here and sleep while I slip poison in your ear.
Enjoy the music you hear on halftime. Of course you do. Our halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. During the month of May, they're looking for 30 homes to participate in their Spring into Savings event. 30 homeowners will receive 50% off installation of a new bathtub or shower. Make sure to ask about 0% interest financing options with their senior and military discounts. You can receive a $200 gas card with a bathtub or shower purchase and a free $50 Walmart gift card with a free in-home estimate. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
Of course, we're still going to have the good music for you, the best bumper music in the game, like we always do on halftime. Not much has changed there. One thing that is going to change, we're going to have to figure out how to do this halftime homework here for a little bit. 'Cause I don't feel comfortable assigning something like any work to somebody who's taught me a lot, like Big C. I'm certainly not going to tell you to do anything, really, ever.
Oh, we're all in it together, man.
We might have to just get together on that. But as always, halftime homework brought to you by Flyway Brewing Company. If you're looking for a great weekday lunch spot in Fayetteville, we're a place to host a lunch meeting that actually impresses, you got to check out Flyway Brewing Company. They have a fantastic lunch menu and plenty of space for private dining. And, of course, it wouldn't be Flyway without the fresh beer, cold, crisp, and ready when the workday wraps up. And when it's time for the game, their big screens have you covered so you won't miss a minute of the action. That's great food, fresh beer, all the action at Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop. Matt, real quick here, 1:42, about 15 minutes or so until we wrap it up. I do want to touch on this. Today is the final day of the All In Razorback Roadshow. They're in a recruiting hotbed right now and a really great collection of a bunch of alumni in the North Central Texas area. They're at Frisco today at the Frisco Star Jerry World, pretty much adjacent right to it. Matt, a lot of stuff in football right now has been centered around the quarterback battle. As a guy that's played that position, you may have been through a quarterback battle or two in your day. Are we really going to not know about this until they take their first snap in August? Or is this going to be all kept under wraps? I mean, as a fan of the team, I think it's pretty normal for that to make you a little bit nervous, especially because from what I saw in the spring game, I don't know if it's, I mean, this is probably a really negative way to look at it, but I think it's to see who's going to have the most polished turd, essentially, because I didn't see a lot from the quarterbacks.
One of the things I do remember Coach saying is it's about getting out of bad plays. It's about not making mistakes. And I think that's part of it. So you have two kids, and one of the things that I think it's gospel. Yeah. If you're a quarterback, reps, man, you need to take reps. You got to play. You got to be in the huddle. It's all situational. It's 3rd and 8, but we're down 7. It's 3rd and 8, but we're up 12. You know, how you handle everything, making the right play, it's so situational. I will say this. Coach has talked about, when he talks about the quarterbacks, he always mentions one quarterback first. Yeah. I think there's something to that. I do think most of the time, 90% of the time, the players know who should be starting. So when you get to fall camp, whoever goes out there first with the number ones, man, there might be one or two change. Okay, injuries can make a change, but as far as if everybody's healthy, there's really not a lot of changes that go on. Once that list is set, hey, we got to go. We're going to give you confidence. We're going to give you belief. Here's what I'll say. You get into week 1, you get into week 2. If things aren't going well, who's the first scapegoat? The quarterback. Yeah, always. Quarterback throws an interception. Quarterback doesn't take him, and they don't score five drives in a row. He's going to throw somebody else out there, and that's warranted, and that's okay. And I'll say this. I'll say this one last thing. Whenever you go 0-8, whenever you don't win a single game, every single job is open. Yeah. And I know Quincy Rhodes is a starter. I know that. I know he's going to be your guy. But in theory, when you haven't won a single game, every single job is open. So there should be competition. But I do think, Colton, I think they know who the starting quarterback is.
I think that you're right. There is something to that. Like subliminally, if a coach is mentioning one guy before the other, that may be who he has, as pegged for the starter in his mind, and not even be knowing that he's sort of.
So it's his to lose.
Yeah, essentially that way. But one thing that I thought of, just as this, quarterback battle is going to continue, and we still don't know a whole lot about the football team right now. What I kind of thought was just watching from the spring game is, look, if they're not going to have a really great or formidable vertical passing attack, Well, there is one thing that I know a lot of Razorback fans can get behind, which is ground and pound, smash mouth football. The Razorback fans love that. It's a blue-collar state full of blue-collar fans.
Toughness.
So
Yep.
that toughness of running the football between the tackles, I know that you have been on these airwaves as long as I've been here, imploring anybody up there that has any say in who calls the plays or what happens to give Braylon Russell the football.
Please.
I think that's what's actually inevitably going to happen with this football team later on this fall, is that they might find themselves sort of handcuffed from a quarterback perspective where, look, we can't really throw the ball down the field 30, 40 times a game like we've seen in the past year with, Mallett and Brandon Allen at times, Austin Allen, Tyler Wilson, those guys, not quite as a polished prospect as you have in your quarterback room right now. I think that it's going to end up being, okay, we're more of a 3 yards in a cloud of dust football team, which for me, I know it may not be the most glamorous, sexy thing, but it eats the clock. It keeps your defense rested and off the field and ready to go. And I think that a lot of fans can get behind the fact that, look, we may not be the sexiest, most beautiful girl at the fair, but damn it, we're coming home with a prize somehow.
You're right on. And Jose Mourinho has been known for that, playing defense, winning games 1-0. And here's what you get when you run the ball. And so when you look at recruiting rankings, when you look at who's going to go play in the next level, what does most of the time happen? We're not as talented as the other team. So what do? You limit their offensive possessions. You're right on, Colton.
Yeah.
You run the ball, you change field position, you put some money on your defense where you can get some stops. All I need is 3 athletes on offense and an offensive. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Give me Courtney Crutchfield. Just tell him what route to run. That was the whole thing last year. He couldn't pick up the playbook. Okay, well, he's good enough. Just say, hey, bro,
run a 9.
You're going to be the X. We're going to tell you what route to run because one-on-one, nobody can cover that dude.
Yeah.
So that's, you have to do that from time to time. You got to get a little lucky, but yeah, I'm with you. And so when Petrino was here, it was more, we're going to run the ball, but we're really going to throw the ball to set up the run. I think now you run the ball to set up the pass. You got to be a running team. You got to know how to run the ball. You got to be physical. It's a mindset. Yeah. So if you have a running back and an offensive line, and we had Sean Andrews and Jason Peters on one side of the ball.
You're running the ball.
That's a cheat code. We could go up to the line of scrimmage and say, hey guys, we could do the Larry Bird. I'm going to come over here, and then I'm going to go right here and shoot it right in your face. It's like we're going to run the ball right here. That's what and they couldn't stop. So you got to have that kind of mentality, and then it wears them down. It just kind of wears you down, and then you start pressing on the offensive end. You're able to get plays. I mean, I'm with you. Run the ball, play defense, limit the other team's offensive possessions, and you know what? That's what Coach Nutt did, and we won a lot of football games doing that.
We only got a few more possessions left here on halftime. Before we go, a little bit of housekeeping business. We have kept the majority of our usual guests here out of the transfer portal. They will still be on with us throughout the rest of the week. And our halftime weekly lineup is brought to you by Swift's Jewelry in downtown Fayetteville. Whether you're popping the question, celebrating an anniversary, or looking for something special, Swift's is the place to go. Located right on Block Avenue next to Hugo's, they've been a trusted name since 1956. Swift specializes in custom jewelry and engagement rings designed to be as unique as your story. And they also offer expert watch repair to keep you on time as well. Stop by and see them in person or visit swiftsjewelry.com to learn more. That's Swift's Jewelry, celebrating life's biggest moments. All right, 1:49 here in the afternoon. Back to wrap up halftime right after this.
They allowed just 4 runs in this regional play, the second fewest in an NCAA regional.
This is halftime.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 2.9% financing for up to 72 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC EV Sierra for as low as $600 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Whether you're heading to work, hauling the kids to practice, or just hitting the open road, there's one stop that makes every mile better. Jam Mart, your local family-owned home for unmatched service. From Jam and Joe's Coffee to the cleanest restrooms in town to high-quality fuel and our go-to Jam Burger baskets. We've got everything you need to keep moving. Stop by any of our locations in Fort Smith, Greenwood, or Booneville. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in Arkansas.
Fill her up, please. Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000.
Legal challenges can feel like a mountain in your path, but you don't have to climb it alone. Hi, this is James Teague. At Teague Law Firm in Rogers, we provide the experience, personal representation you deserve. Whether it's family law, criminal defense, or personal injury, we are dedicated to protecting what matters most to you. From divorce and custody trials and all other forms of litigation, Teague Law Firm fights for your results. Trust our team that Northwest Arkansas has relied on for over 30 years. Call Teague Law Firm today at 479-877-1688 or visit our website at teague-law.com. The Teague Law Firm. If we can't help you, we'll talk baseball.
Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years.
Tell me just what you want me to be. One yes, you're the only one for me. So please tell me why don't you come around no more? 'Cause right now I'm outside the door.
Welcome back to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Brace yourself. May mayhem has exploded at the Lewis Automotive Group, and they're crushing prices like never before across all 5 locations. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Now let's get back to halftime with Arkansas football legend Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Well, Thank you, everybody, for listening today. Thank you for participating. And we're all going to ponder the question, who is Colton Little?
So good.
As the day goes on.
I'm not really sure myself.
You know, I heard that he took out the T's and made him D's, so it's actually Liddell. And so I don't know. But
like Don Little, the former pitcher for the World
I
Series
have,
of the Dodgers. Yeah.
Chuck Liddell.
Chuck
is where-
Liddell,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna leave you with this today. We had a good time today. Thank you for everybody for Dr. Charlie joining us. We had fun. What kind of music do Bubbles hate?
Soap operas.
There you go.
Damn.
Pop.
That's
That's it. We ended it on a mic drop right there. Colton Little. That's why he has the name 45, because he's a music guy. I love it. Hey, good first show. Thanks to the unit as well. And hey, that was fun. We'll see you guys around.